how y'all doing? What's happening? Thank y'all so much for your patience. Oh Lord, what is going on here? Thank y'all so much for y'all patience. I appreciate it. The last live went over, but it was a good one. I'm telling you right now, it was a good one. So we're gonna get into this real quick. Uh the Carmelo Anthony saga. Who knew his parents failed him? I said this yesterday, but after seeing a couple videos, some of you all recommended, where they're asking for more money. What in the world? What is going on, boy? You got people scamming and frauding and being impeached and blah 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 left and right. We got a few videos to check out here, and we're gonna get to it. And then, of course, we got Jay Witt down at the bottom. We talked about this so-called minister of justice yesterday, the baby shaker. He's a convicted felon. Like, it's absurd. He shouldn't be near kids. But there was a lady, from what I've seen so far in this video, a lady called him on air while she was on Jay Witt's live. So I want to see that. But let's get to this, y'all. Let's greet everybody up in the chat. Everybody speak to everybody before we get into this, because we got a few videos. Not too long. We're not gonna be too long. Because I do have another live I want to do right quick tonight.
A day after the trial, Karmelo Anthony's parents.
Okay. Hold on. Before we get to the next one. So y'all come in and hit that like button. Let's get to it. Hit the like button. Make sure you guys hype up the video when it's concluded as well. So that way this content gets out to the masses. And I appreciate you guys' support here. Shout out to the mods hanging in there. Colleen, what's going on? How you doing? Tina Marie up in here. Shout out to the bars. I appreciate you all. Hit the like button on your way in. Don't Stop is up in here. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Whether you are a father, stepfather, father-in-law, you help raise some kids. Whatever father figure you play in anybody's life. Happy Father's Day to you. And we honor you all for being there. Kids need both parents. They need mommy and daddy. So God bless all the dads out here that are out here doing it, taking care of these kids and making sure they're cared for properly. Happy Father's Day. Hope you guys enjoyed your day. My father has transitioned. He passed away in 2023. But I definitely love and miss my dad. And definitely honor him. So make sure you guys show your love to your dads, to all the men in your life that are dads, that are fathers, in any capacity that they are. All right? Show them some love. So shout out to all the dads today. Jackie, what's going on? Colleen, yeah, we're a bit late, but we're here. Y'all, we're going to get into it. Jeep Lady, how you doing? Jim back up in here. Sherry up in here. Francisco up in here. Mindy again. Saint up again. Shout out to all the minds. Hey now, Lauren. Hey now. Everybody's good to go. So Jim said Austin's coach put him in charge of the tent. No one except his team was supposed to be in the tent. Yeah, and that's what I was asking yesterday when we was going over the video evidence that was released to the public. That's why I asked a series of questions I asked about who were the owners of the tent. Was he supposed to be there? All these things. Come to find out that that's not his school. He was at a school he did not attend. Correct me if I'm wrong. And so, the idea that, we're just gonna camp out, and I gave the analogy, if you reserve some tables at a park and then you have a random family just come up and take over a table you paid for a reserve. You can imagine, like, okay, now who would be happy with that happening? You're gonna go to that family and say, listen, we reserved this table in advance. We got people coming. This is our table. For however long we reserved it for, this is our table. You gotta go. And then you imagine this family just sitting here ignoring you, and they're talking about touch me if you touch me, see what happens, punch me, see what happens. What you mean? Why do we have to resort to violence? Just get up. You didn't reserve this table. Like it was the same concept. And yet you got people out there that really want this to be a matter of race, and it's not. It's just a matter of the one kid taking another child's life. And it's unfortunate. Now he's in prison for 35 years. And he was supposed to be a good all-around student. But, you got to teach your kids to have some level of self-control. But we're going to watch his parents, and this is how I feel about it. I feel that they failed him. They failed him. They never taught him to have self-control and restraint. And even if you wanted your child, which they're entitled to have a fair trial, you still need to maintain some level of humility. They had the victim's father removed from oppressor, and they could have taken that opportunity to try to mend that bridge, so to speak, and extended the olive branch. And then they let this clown fraud minister of justice, baby shaker, convicted felon come in and actually utterly obliterate their image and what could have turned out to be a way to help bring the community together and still see justice prevail, because facts, laws, and evidence don't care about our feelings, and it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be neutral and impartial. And his parents didn't even try. And now they out here asking for more money for an appeal. What you mean? The fact that they were able to raise over $600,000 is beyond comprehension. I don't even have. I've had one GoFundMe I tried to have for my court case, and my kid, and I'm being dragged to court, mind you. I don't even think I raised 500. Like they raised 600,000, and they knew the evidence was against their child, and as opposed to them looking out for his best interest, he's tried it as an adult, but as opposed to them just saying, listen, we need to mitigate the damage here based on what the evidence we've seen. They should have started with a real attorney, not a minister of justice that's sitting out here creating 501c3s and not filing taxes. Like, are you kidding me? I'm just like, how much did you pay this guy, this so-called spokesperson? It was ridiculous. So we looked at the ProPublica website yesterday in that live regarding the tax filings for this so-called organization. And he had not filed taxes, according to ProPublica, since tax year 2020. 2020. His EIN, I think, is voided. So he's taking in grant money and donations and all this stuff, and he's not even filing taxes in accordance with federal law. This so-called minister of justice. But he got offended when people asked him, how much did you get paid? They raised over $600,000. How much did you get? Because you're not doing this for free. Otherwise, he would have to get a regular job. Make this up. It's the draining of the public's trust for me that I can't stand. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hit that like button. Bella, how you doing? Caleb, what's going on? Bella said truth about Karmelo and his family will eventually come out. Nothing so far, I believe. Yeah, I can't. Their whole attitude and mentality towards this has been absolutely piss poor. They didn't even show up for his sentencing hearing. And that's problematic because they could have taken that opportunity knowing that their son is still being sentenced to prison. But that's an opportunity to listen to the victim impact statements. And they didn't even give the opportunity for the victim's family to come in and hear how this has impacted them. They lost a child. Theirs is going to prison. No doubt that it sucks. It's painful all around with that. But you still can't sit here and be arrogant about it. No humility at all. None. My heart goes out to Austin Metcalf. What you mean? This child is dead. I'm gonna need you to have more than just your heart go out to them. Man, what's going on, Saint? I see you up in here. Home Rose. You got it. Religion is Religion. Come on now. Come on. Mindy, what's going on? Nikki for Freedom. Rosetta's back up in here. Y'all ready? We about to get to it. I just wanted to give you all of you all a shout out. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Thank y'all so much. Let's get to it. So we're gonna start this off, and we're just gonna go back to back to back to back. A couple of these videos are like only 2 or 3 minutes long, but we want to get this in. All right, and like I said, I tried to do a little deep dive on that Minister of Justice's tax filings. He doesn't have any, so you just out here ambulance chasing and taking money from families, and he's not even filing taxes. You can't make this up. Hit the phone where you can see it here. Let's go.
Karmelo Anthony's family is also talking tonight. They believe the trial was unfair from the start. They do plan to appeal. Our Ken Molestina to continue now our team coverage.
A day after the trial, Karmelo Anthony's parents, Andrew Anthony and Kayla Hayes, sat down to break their silence and to let the world know how they're feeling as their son begins his 35-year sentence for murder. Despite what a jury found, his parents dispute their son ever wanted to kill Austin Metcalf.
My son is no murder. My son didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself.
No, he wasn't. Stop. No, he wasn't. You do not condone bad behavior. When you take time to pull a weapon out of a backpack, when you could have just used a fist or a hand, it would have been different if you would have just slapped the boy in the face or something. He took time to go into a backpack while he's daring them to touch him and punch him. Them's fighting words. Did she not know that? There's a thing called being the primary aggressor. You don't use fighting words and challenge people to any physical altercation. And then tell them, see what happens if you touch me and punch me. What you mean? Why do we even have to go there? Why can't you just get your ass up and leave this tent? I can guarantee you they never asked him, why didn't you just get up? Why didn't you just get up and go sit somewhere else? If that tent was not for you to sit on, why did you even sit there? Why did you go to that one? And if he was invited over there, the person that invited him definitely did not go in and even try to make the case for it. And it's still irrelevant. This is not your tent. No different than reserved seating. Somehow their son was going to melt upon contact with water. It was drizzling outside. It was storming. It wasn't like a tornado or anything because they wouldn't have been out there if it was that bad. But he could have sat with his team somewhere else. And they should have, they've never asked this. I can guarantee you they've never asked their child, why didn't you get up? They told you to get up 15 times. What was so hard about you getting your ass up and going somewhere else and sitting down and de-escalating this? You daring them to put their hands on you? Why? Why would you invite that? That's called battery. Teach your kids the law and teach them how to have restraint and self-control and how to de-escalate and learn how to pick your battles and pick your fights. That was just a dumb battle to pick. You're antagonizing when you're talking about hit me and see what happens. Touch me, see what happens. Punch me, see what happens. Why can't you just get up? This is the difference. He intended to pull that knife out of his backpack, which is why he did it. That was not by accident. No, he purposefully opened his backpack, pulled that knife out, and used it, as opposed to just, let me just punch or stop. If I feel like I'm having to do a quick defense mode, I'm not going to take time to pull out a weapon like that. if I'm just being touched on the shoulder. I can guarantee you, if they just would have had a good old-fashioned fist fight, nobody would have gotten in trouble. They would have pulled them apart and just told them to go separate themselves. The thing he could have done to begin with, he could have just got up, separated himself, and go sat somewhere else. He didn't do it. That was his way out, and he didn't take it. Do not enable your kids. That is the worst thing. Spare the rod, spoil the child. That is the worst thing you can do, is enable your kids when you know they were wrong.
And that's what hurt so bad.
His mother recounts the moment she addressed the jury and made her plea to them during the sentencing phase.
To have mercy on my son.
Exactly, Laura. That good old-fashioned fist fight. He never killed nobody.
I know they had their minds made up already. So,
because the evidence was there.
I could say to change their mind.
Both parents fighting back emotions and tears as they described what they believe was a flawed trial.
How?
We were delusional. We thought we was going to get a fair shake.
They claimed there were inconsistencies from the get-go, despite witnesses who took an oath vowing to tell the truth.
Everyone actually lied on the stand.
Everyone.
All of the witnesses statements.
Yeah, because everyone is lying except him. Boy, this is the worst case of enabling I've ever seen. He's in prison for 35 years for murder, and you're enabling him. You're not teaching him anything. He's not going to learn anything from this at all. You're letting him think that this was justified against video evidence. But if it were the other way around, they'll be raising all hell.
Were inconsistent. All of them.
His father says the court of public opinion had made up their mind about his son long before the trial began.
He was convicted when he walked out of the
The court of public opinion is irrelevant in the court of law. You know, go figure. They never even tried to even have a conversation, though, with the victim's father. In the court of public opinion, have no sway in the court of law. Because if in the court of public opinion, if you have more people to believe that he was innocent than guilty, and that somehow had sway in this criminal trial, in a murder trial, he would not be in prison. Court of public opinion is irrelevant in the court of law. It is the finding of fact, law, and evidence. It needs to remain impartial and neutral. Because if it's the other way around, you want it to be impartial and neutral. Laws don't bend to your will. That's not how this works. They don't care about the court of public opinion. That judge did not care how they thought. What can you prove? Good grief.
Yeah, jail. If you looked at the news all last year, he was already convicted. If you look at it, it was already done.
We couldn't put him in jail.
Innocent until proven guilty. He was already guilty.
Oh my God.
He says the threats of violence against them continue.
People want us dead. That's what.
After they still got what they wanted.
After they still got what they want, they still want us dead. I can see, you see, I go look at my phone, people want us dead. They want our family dead.
And now they're preparing to appeal.
They did a number on us.
A judicial process they believe wronged them.
We didn't get justice. A lot of things that were missed that should have been handled a certain way. However, we couldn't say anything. We did what was instructed. We was told. So we just did what we was told.
Realtor.
Ken Molestina, CBS News.
This morning, we have an exclusive interview with the parents of a Texas teenager sentenced this week to 35 years in prison for killing a fellow high school athlete. On Tuesday, a jury found 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony guilty of murdering 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. His lawyers plan to appeal. They say prosecutors wrongly excluded Black people from the jury. Anthony's parents spoke with Jonah Kaplan about their son, the trial, and their message to the Metcalf family.
My son didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself.
Yeah, it's so crazy how Umar said the same thing. We covered his response to this in the last live. And he said the same nonsense. Where are they getting this from? Do they not understand how jury selection works? You would think they would just take time to understand the jury selection process. You can't handpick people to be on the jury. That's not how that works. Because the jury is supposed to remain impartial and neutral. You cannot handpick them. You create a bias when you do that. Plus, it's illegal. It's a guaranteed way to have an appeal granted to the defendant. You cannot just handpick people because of race. Where are they getting this shit from? No attorney told them that, this is how jury selections work. Oh my God.
It took less than 3 hours for a jury to reject.
You think he would be happy coming out and at least be remorseful or something, would have stopped, said something, said, I am so sorry this has all happened. I'm willing to accept some, all the responsibility. This is crazy. He walking out like he got an attitude.
19-year-old Karmelo Anthony's claims of self-defense in the stabbing death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Prosecutors argued Anthony intentionally killed Metcalf after being taunted and shoved by Metcalf and his teammates at a high school track meet.
Take us inside that courtroom. What stuck out to you?
What stuck out to me, number one.
Take me underneath that tent. Why did he go there? Why didn't he sit anywhere else? Because he could have just done that. Why didn't he just get up and walk away? You sitting here being taunted at a tent that you shouldn't even be sitting at either way. Why not just get up and walk away? You can't be in fear of your life and then you still sit there after they told you to get up and leave. And this is not your tent. I fail to believe that anybody even invited him over there. They just came up with the most random dumb nonsense. He walked past 2 tents to get to that one. And he could have just sat anywhere else. You all of a sudden are scared of everybody. You sitting over here where you don't know these people. And you just sitting over here and they telling you, look, dude, you got to get up. This tent doesn't belong to you or this school. This is our spot. We reserved this little area. You got to go. This is for our teammates. It's like walking in the opposing team's locker room. What you doing over there? And then sitting down, and they telling you got to get out of here. This is not your team's locker room. Why didn't he get up? Why did he even go over there in the first place? He had opportunities to de-escalate and just walk away, because he was so scared and all. No, he just kept sitting there and then daring them to punch him and to put their hands on him. He dared them to do it. He said, touch me, see what happens. Punch me, see what happens. He doesn't even deny saying that. No, that's provoking. That's provocation. It's unnecessary. Just get up and move.
I was the all-white jury, but I was trying to be, like, all right, it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, my God.
The truth is on our side.
At the sentencing hearing, the defense called only one witness on Anthony's behalf, his mother, Kayla Hayes.
What did you tell the jury?
To have mercy on my son.
Good night,
What do you
Bendis. How you
say
doing?
to his grieving
night.
family?
It's unfortunate to where nobody wins. We've all been hurt by this. Everybody.
That poor boy is fixing to experience a life that I would not wish upon anyone.
Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff, called Anthony's sentencing bittersweet.
What it boils down to for me is this. Austin will never walk through that door again and never give me a hug.
The case drew national attention, prompting protests in support of both teens. And both families involved say they've received threats.
This morning, I've had multiple emails, texts, threatening me, calling me all sorts of names.
During our interview, the Anthonys made a point to call back one man they say continues to dox them.
Why are you calling me, man?
To make fun of you.
Both families urged supporters to tame their emotions.
I forgave him. But you understand?
And Umar Johnson said he didn't. Umar, you see this? You dumb Oompa Loompa. You said the victim's father, Umar Johnson's calling him Daddy Metcalf. Why are you calling another grown man daddy? Umar, you're an idiot. You lied, Umar Johnson. You said that Jeff Metcalf did not forgive Karmelo Anthony. What we seeing at the bottom here on the closed caption? I forgave him. So somehow him saying the words and saying it multiple times. This ain't the first time he said this. He said this previously. Still not good enough though. Despite him being removed from a press conference where he wanted to talk to Karmelo's parents to bring down the temperature regarding this racial divide here. You see it right here. He said, I forgave him. Hear the words. Umar, you're an idiot. You are an idiot. You're a complete buffoon. You lied on this man. He just literally said it. For the second time that I've heard.
Emotions.
I forgave him.
I forgave him. This is not the first time he has said this. But like Umar Johnson said, Daddy Metcalf never said it. Grown man calling another grown man daddy. This is a dumb lie to tell. Why lie and say he never forgave him when he did? And he has said it multiple times. Twice, I can say for sure.
But people need to understand about forgiveness. Forgiveness was not for him. Forgiveness was for me, so I don't carry the rage, the hate, and that around. It will eat me up like cancer.
At the end of the day, there's nothing we can say or do for people to accept us.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Jonah Kaplan
You
in
could
McKinney,
say
Texas.
I'm sorry.
As Anthony now begins paying the price for his conviction, Austin Metcalf's father tonight is talking only with our JD Miles about the price that his family is paying.
12% black people there.
Because the lie
They're supposed to get an all-black jury.
is temporary. But the truth lasts forever.
Jeff Metcalf finally had a chance to read the words he's been writing in a notebook to address his son's killer.
You said, people think that grief is sadness, but it's not. It's rage.
Oh.
Pure, unfiltered rage. You failed yourself. You failed your parents. You failed society. You don't belong in this community.
That's correct.
Metcalf's victim impact statement came at the end of Karmelo Anthony's murder trial. For months, the father of Austin Metcalf has been silenced by a gag order imposed by the judge. Now he's free to speak publicly and says he's also free of something else.
He also had a gag order? He was silenced by a gag order. Why you had this dumbass, fake-ass, baby shaker, minister of justice, fraud, ambulance chaser out here running his mouth 24/7. The father of the victim was gagged.
When I woke up this morning, it was a very different feeling. When I woke up, I felt like 1,000,000 pounds had been lifted off my shoulders. Because I used to wake up every morning with this anxiety, with this feeling of dread. And this morning was the first day I woke up with a feeling of peace,
Exactly.
comfort, tranquility that I haven't experienced in 14 months. And I felt Austin.
Metcalf was in court every day of Anthony's trial. The 19-year-old now convicted murderer not only took his son Austin's life, he did it right in front of Austin's twin brother, Hunter.
What killed me was the body cam footage when I could hear Hunter screaming. Oh God, my brother, my twin. As a parent, you always want to protect your kids.
Yeah.
And to hear my son and the fear in his voice and I'm not there to fix it.
What was it like sitting in that courtroom with Karmelo Anthony for 5 or 6 days?
Challenging is the first word that comes to my mind. And I'll even say this. I had a little bit of sorrow because I'm human. And that poor boy is fixing to experience a life that I would not wish upon anyone.
Metcalf says even today he's received death threats and has previously endured doxing of his personal information and multiple swatting calls to his house from people.
And this is the thing that, boy, this is the part where, it becomes, oh man, racially charged and motivated, politicized, weaponized. Both parents receiving death threats, and for what? What does that solve? What you want is for the law to prevail. What does this solve? To send death threats and to dox the parents when they still have other kids. Karmelo Anthony had like what, 2 or 3 younger siblings? Those kids shouldn't have to worry about safety issues when they're leaving the house. Karmelo Anthony is where he should be, in prison. And then you have the victim's father not able to grieve the loss of his son, getting death threats and swatting calls and doxed. And for what? For what? The court of law is not going to make a ruling or decision because you have the public out here sending death threats and doxing either of the families. That has no sway in the court of law. Now, it would only have sway if they decide to pursue charges or a lawsuit against those doing that. You had a judge doxed and threatened. The FBI had to intervene, and whoever threatened that judge, they're going to go to jail. All for what? Because the jury still found him guilty, and he was still sentenced to 35 years. So all this swatting and doxing and the cyber harassment and the cyber crimes being committed had no sway on the ruling at all. None. Not even a little bit. None of this will have any effect in the court of law when it comes to the appellate process. Nothing. This is absolute madness. There's no reason to commit cyber crimes because it doesn't have any effect in the court of law. The ruling still stands. If he wins or loses the appeal, it won't be because somebody got swatted or doxed or threatened. Bottom line. But yet, these same people doing this, they won't go out and vote for these judges to be put into these positions. Where they at on election day when they need to vote in their DA or local prosecutors, police sheriffs, positions where you know they're elected, your mayors, your state governors. Where are these same people at doing all this stuff here when it's time to vote? And you're voting in these judges, these DAs, these prosecutors into their positions. Where's all that energy at during election? None of this has any sway in the court of law. That judge is not going to sit here and say, how many death threats you got? Okay, so I'm just going to take off some sentences and I'm going to change this. No, it's not going to have any effect. So all this is for nothing.
People who he says have tried to villainize Austin and the family.
I would hope they take a look in the mirror. And if you have children, and if it was your child who was murdered, would you like people dragging his name to the mud, making memes, making jokes, and just really vile comments?
Where do you and the Metcalf family go from here?
Well, I mean,
separate ways.
This is day one. of a long healing process. Because honestly, it's been impossible to start healing until this trial was complete.
The trial may be over, but the racial polarization among Americans on display outside the Collin County Courthouse.
I agree, Gene. He did. Forgive him.
Look at the effect, not just the effect here between the Metcalf family and the Anthony family. Look what it did, one, to those kids.
Exactly.
They have to live with. Two, it took on this huge, wider, let's have a race war throughout the nation.
Metcalf insists that his son had no racist motives when he approached Anthony about leaving a track team tent.
This case was never about race.
There's going to be those people now that just, try to throw shade on the whole trial with the jury makeup and the speed of it and that sort of thing. I mean,
well, those are the same people that said he was jumped by 4 people. His phone was broken. You're going to spin whatever story to try to keep yourself afloat.
Metcalf believes Anthony should have received a life sentence. He says if Anthony...
I agree. He should have gotten life in prison without possibility of parole. I mean, what are we doing? He didn't even get 50 to life. He got 35 years. I mean, it's just, this is ridiculous. And yes, we're going to keep talking about it. You don't like it? Kick rocks. Don't care. We're going to keep talking about this because he's trying to file an appeal. You have to be able to articulate legal argument of legal errors that occurred in the trial hearing. That's not an opportunity for a whole new trial on new evidence or anything. It'll be an opportunity, even if you get a new trial, where you have to present the evidence and everything else and ensure that you don't have any legal errors. How do you plan on proving that this jury somehow disenfranchised him from having a fair trial and that the outcome would be any different if you put any black people on the jury? Because if they come in biased, they're going to get removed from the jury anyway. You can't select people because of the color of their skin. That's an assured way for the defendant to get an actual new trial. That would be illegal. They can't hand select people because they're black. The jury selection process is like they don't even want to read about it. They don't even want to know how that goes. But his parents out here talking about, well, there was no black people on the jury. Do you understand how the jury selection process works in a murder trial? For any criminal matter. You can't make this stuff up.
Anthony is up for parole in 17 years. He will be there in some form to argue against it.
If I'm still alive, yes, I will be there.
Got life.
If not, I am going to make a video, if I'm passed on, that can be played.
There are no walls in Metcalf's home without photos or paintings of Austin and his twin. These images and a scholarship in his son's name are what remain for this father, who says he's ready to finally forgive, but not forget.
But people need to understand about forgiveness. Forgiveness was not for him. Forgiveness was for me, so I don't carry the rage, the hate, and that around. It will eat me up like cancer.
J.D. Miles, CBS News, Texas.
Anyone know, before we go to the next one, anyone know where their mother is? It's twin boys. Does anyone know, is Austin Metcalf's mother alive or what? Anyone know where the mother is? Why is that like carrying rage? Oh no, don't be rageful. Don't give in to rage. Even the Bible says be slow to anger. It doesn't say never get angry. But it's how you act upon that. Going out and committing cybercrime solves nothing. It will not change the ruling. And it certainly will not change the outcome of any appeal. It won't do any of that. They doxing the judges. It's just, oh my God. And for what? He still got 35 years. And that's to say that he did not get a fair trial when he only got 35 years is insane, because he could have gotten life without the possibility of parole. He could have got 50 to life. He even had his bond reduced from $1 million to $250,000. How much more lenient did the court need to be? This is crazy. The cyber crimes don't change the outcome of the ruling. It has no effect on the court when it comes to the ruling or the appeal. None. So doxing either parent is a moot point. What are you doing being threatening to the parents for? It's unnecessary. It doesn't change the fact that he's been sentenced to 35 years. No, it does not. Taking your anger out on the wrong people gets you nowhere. And if you're threatening and doxing a judge, it will land you in jail. Because that's exactly where these people are going to go. They're pursuing charges for the people that dox the judge and threaten the judge. They had to bring down the FBI to give her extra protection. You can't make this stuff up. And Metcalf, he's sitting here like, listen, I forgave him a long time ago. He didn't have to say that at all. He said it multiple times. And you got Umar Johnson out here lying like hell to my he never forgave him, when he said it more than once. This is it's insane. It's insane. It's insane. This is not self-defense. And now they're still trying to raise money for an appeal. So we have Charleston White, who got pissed because, reasons. Apparently he had been helping in the beginning, raising money and stuff like that for Karmelo Anthony. And when the video evidence dropped and he saw the father was just being a dumbass, and they already had that minister of justice, you got to wonder how much they paid that dude, that so-called spokesperson. How much was he paid? And then he moved on to a whole nother case. Just like it's nothing. Just from one death to another. And when he realized, Charleston White realized this is effed up, then he flipped. I've been very consistent. He should have gotten life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now you got to sit here and try to justify to the public why 35 years was the outcome of this, when the law permits more time. It's the same thing I said about the judge reducing the bond. Just stick to the law. If the law says for this murder charge in the state of Texas, the bond is $1 million, just stick to the law. That way you can say, I didn't pick one side or the other. I didn't use any discretionary power that I have. I just stuck to the law. It said $1 million. That's what it is. The end. And that's it. It's the same thing with the sentencing. What does the law say? He could have gotten more time. Then his own parents messed it up for him to get a plea deal. So all right, you talking about how much more of a fair trial does people need to see he had? He pulled out a knife and plunged it into this boy's chest when he could have just got up and walked away and left the tent.
Karmelo Anthony case, I ain't putting no goddamn money toward that boy. His daddy too goddamn weak for me. I don't like a weak nigga. His dad ain't willing to die, kill, or go to jail for nothing. That nigga just wants some bills paid. Karmelo, my heart go out to you if you ever see this video one day. Nigga, I'd rather stand with the
witness on that stand had that little man's back. None, 0 out of 20.
Hold on, let me go back, son. Good grief.
Ain't standing with no weak ass black man, nigga. I'm off the case.
You telling me a grainy video is shown to jurors, but it was shown in 4K clear to the people that witnessed it? No witness on that stand had that little man's back. None, 0 out of 21 people being questioned? Come on, man, I'm done with all of that. I feel the same way about white people, the same way they feel about my people. Yeah, try one of us.
Sounds like somebody needs a nap, because I completely understand how it feels to be so tired, but then to misdirect all of my frustration in the wrong direction. It sounds like so many people are running away from accountability as well as responsibility rather than running to it, taking it, reevaluating our community and our boys' influence, and teaching them the right thing rather than teaching them to always be victims. We glorify YNs. We glorify anger. We glorify unforgiveness and hatred, and then get mad when the system judges you based on your actions. With all of that that's built up in your heart, woe to those who call evil good and good evil. You judge.
Yeah, yay, girl. If you call yourself a Christian, you don't argue the word of God. Ain't that what the Bible says? Yes, it is. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. Come on now. She like it. You can't run away from the accountability. Karmelo Anthony's parents have played the victims in day one. Jeff Metcalf got death threats, doxxed, and swatted as well. Both families got that, and they did not deserve. Neither one of them deserved that, because all these cyber crimes in between is just distractions. It doesn't change the ruling. It doesn't change what's going to be the outcome of the appeal. It doesn't change any of that. He's still in prison for 35 years right now. Swatting and doxing and all this crap. What does that get you? How's that supposed to have any influence or sway in the court of law where it matters? It didn't. And then when the video was released out, people could clearly see that boy was not being jumped or attacked or anything. He walked over there and they were already there. And he walked over there and sat down, and he could have just left. And no one wants to ask that question. Why didn't he get up and leave the tent? 15 times they asked you to get up. Why didn't he just get up? Why did he go over there in the first place and not sit anywhere else? That's the issue. They're not asking that, because if you ask that question, now you have to think rational and logical about this. Teach your kids to maintain self-control and pick their battles. There's just moments in life where it's not the time for you to sit here and have all this pride and ego. You see things that become intense and hostile, and you're not even supposed to be sitting over here. Just get up and walk away from it. But you can't say that you inferior your life and you did not even want to get up and remove yourself from the situation. That's logic. Logic says he should have got his ass up and walked away, since he claimed he was scared of everybody. You still sat there, you scared of everybody? Who does that? Who goes to a place where they terrified and you still sit there and you don't have to? You don't have to. Who does that? I don't know anyone that's going to put themselves in a situation where they're scared to death and they don't have to be there, but yet they still continue to sit there and be in this environment where they're scared to death. Who does that? Because, getting up is just too hard to do. Nah, let me just sit here, even though I feel for my life. I feel for my life. I'm going to keep sitting here. They told me 15 times to get up. It's not my tent. I don't know these people. They don't go to my school. I don't go to theirs. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to keep sitting here, though. Touch me and see what happens. Punch me and see what happens. I feel for my life, but I'm going to keep sitting here. Because, 15 times asking me to get up is just not enough. So I'm going to keep sitting here, even though I'm scared. I'm supposed to be scared as hell of these people. And I'm just going to keep sitting here and daring them to touch me and punch me. No logic in that. No logic in that at all. No logic in that at all. You feeling threatened? You see things are escalating, all this tension building up, and you couldn't just get up and walk away? I don't give a damn who invited him anywhere. And that's if that happened. Oh, okay, I see you invited me over here, but I'm going to get up and walk out because I feel this is getting a little hostile. He couldn't just ask him, hey, can I stand over here for a minute? Wait for the rain to subside. He passed by 2 tents to go to that one. when he could have just went to the first tent or the second tent. They say, you can't sit over here, man. We got the stuff reserved. Yeah, 15 times they're going to tell me to get up, and I'm just going to dare them to put their hands on me and punch me. Why? Why dare them to put their hands on you or punch you? Why invite battery? Why? Why dare them to touch you if you're afraid of them? You're supposed to be scared of them. You think I want Debo and them to come in and they 7 feet tall, weighing 250 pounds of pure muscle, and I'm going to invite that person to punch me? Why? Why would I do that? Why? It's so stupid. It defies logic. I'm not going to stay in a place where I am sincerely fearing for my life, and I don't have to be there. I can get up and walk away at any time. And then tell my friend, I'm going to see you later. I'll call you or text you. I'm not sitting over here. I'm getting up because logic says I should get up and walk away. I shouldn't keep sitting here because I'm scared. I'm afraid of these people. I don't know what they're going to do to me. Let me just get up and walk away. Why was that hard to do? What was that hard to do? Pick your battles. Don't sit here and provoke someone and say, touch me and see what happens. Punch me and see what happens. Pick your battles and walk away. Walk away. Get up and walk away. This is a stupid incident that should have never happened because he could have just left. What's going on, Jay Witt? Child. Y'all, shout out to Jay Witt. My Morehouse brother and brother in Christ. How you doing, honey? How's it going, Deacon? Can't make this up. Oh, Mel, you know that I don't sit here and let nobody dictate how I talk over here because they could just not listen. No, we come raw in this. No. No one dictates that over here. Not over here. I care less how you feel. Logic says he should have got up and walked away. I have 2 black sons myself. One turning 18, one turning 14. And I have to teach my kids, you got to maintain self-control. There's certain times in a situation where you just need the bigger person, and walk away to de-escalate and calm down. Go sit down somewhere and learn how to maintain self-control. Maintain some level of humility. You're not supposed to be sitting over here, or you got invited over here, but you see things again tense. Get your ass up and go sit somewhere else. What you doing? You don't provoke somebody to put their hands on you and instigate a fight. Why? It's more of them than of you. So he sits himself under a tent where he's surrounded by everybody he don't know because of one invite. And you got that one person that invited him that said nothing about this. Where the hell they at? That's if that occurred, because I don't have to believe that. I didn't see that. I didn't hear that. I didn't read that at all. If he were invited over there, that one person that invited him should have probably encouraged. They probably should have asked first, can I invite someone to sit over here? But he still could have gotten up and just walked off when he saw everybody getting pissed off if he was so scared. Now, I'm scared, but I'm going to tell you to punch me in the face. What? Because that's what he said. Touch me, see what happens. Punch me, see what happens. He literally said that, and he never denied it. But no, you're supposed to be terrified of these kids. But you just going to keep sitting here, like, because logic says get your ass up and move. No, he should have gotten life. Because the law permits that. Because this was highly unnecessary and very avoidable. He could have got up and walked away. I don't give a damn about no invite. You see about to get in a fight, I'm walking away. Forget the invite. I'm out. I'm gonna see you later. That's it. I'm about to graduate next year. I got 3.7 GPA. I'm captain of the football team, track star in my school. I don't have time for this. I'm getting up and walking away. None of this is worth it. Y'all enjoy your tent. Have a blessed day. Walk away. That little bit of wisdom right there in that moment to de-escalate and walk away would have not only spared the life of Austin Metcalf, but his as well. He will still have his liberty and freedom. Probably in college, playing sports and getting good grades. All that came to a halt because he didn't get up and walk away. Yo, invite. I don't give a damn about no invite. That has nothing to do with him maintaining self-control and getting his ass up and walking out. Stupid. I'm going to let this invite sit here and cause me to be defiant. And then threaten them to hit me. What? No, you want to be big, bad, and bold. Go ahead and go to prison and dare them to hit you in jail. See how that goes. Can't make this up. We don't condone bad behavior. This is crazy. Either you're going to learn at home or you're going to learn in the streets. That's something my grandmama always said to my uncle and my male cousins and all that. You're going to learn at home or you're going to learn in the streets. You might want to learn at home. Either way, you're going to learn. Can't make this up, man. Deacon, you can't make it up, Deacon. Can't make this up, Jay Witt. Now, shout out to Jay Witt. How you doing? Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. And then people want to sit here and still keep making excuses. You can't make this up. Shout out to is it Needle lineup? For the $2 super. They don't want an explanation. They want outcomes. Thank you so much for that $2 super. And shout out to Jay Witt, my brother in Christ, Morehouse brother. $5 super. Keep up the solid work, sis. The Metcalf boys growing like kudzu in the Texas Sun, 7 foot. They was some big kids. That's why I don't understand. Like, okay, you bigger than me. And I've been short all my life. I've been short, tall. I stand tall at 5 feet. Everybody's taller than me for the most part. Even my kids are taller than me. It's just certain situations I'm just not going to try to challenge. I'm looking at a behemoth. It's like me trying to fight Shaquille O'Neal. Why? Times 2. Like, if that much bigger and taller than you and ain't got the ability to whoop your ass, why would you want to keep sitting there? It's not your tent. Get up. This could have been avoided. This is avoidable. And that's what they look at and evaluate in the courtroom. Was this absolutely necessary? Was this show of force absolutely necessary? It was not, because his option was still there to get up and walk away. I know you invited me over here, but I'm about to go. Get up. That's what's so frustrating. And you think the parents asked, Deacon, you think those parents asked Karmelo Anthony, why didn't you just get up and go move somewhere else and go sit down somewhere else? You really think that they asked their son, you got to explain this to us. Just break it down and keep it simple. They told you 15 times, this is not your tent. This does not belong to your school. You're not at your school. This area was reserved for that team. Why didn't you just get up and walk away? You think they asked their son that? Happy Father's Day, Jay Witt. And to all the dads. Shout out to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. No, they use rules of the jungle. Because, I mean, wouldn't that be the first question you would ask your child? 15 times, they told you 15 times to get your ass up. You didn't get up. Why? So you just sat there. You talking about somebody invited you? I don't give a damn. You get your ass up. Get your ass up. You could have just walked away from this. You gonna dare them to put their hands on you? You know, I read the probable cause affidavit and the charging documents. It said in that you told this boy, touch me, see what happens, punch me, see what happens. And you still sat there and you claim to be scared? What the hell? You understand how stupid that sounds? It's highly contradictory. People who are afraid of their life don't stay in the area of the threat. They get up and walk away because that's what wisdom says. Wisdom and logic and good judgment says, if you are in a place where you feel your life is in danger and you could walk away, because that fight or flight response is going to kick in. And you in a place where you could walk away, you get your ass up and walk away. Because you're supposed to be in fear of your life. You don't sit here and threaten somebody to hit you and you scared of them. How does that go? I'm gonna call you later because I'm mad. Bye. That's it. That's just phone conversation should be real short and sweet. I'm afraid of That's like that like button. I'm not gonna sugarcoat a damn thing at all. I don't care. I'm not sugarcoating nothing. Be bigly mad. You just gonna be big mad today. I'm not sugarcoating nothing. I'm a mama bear. I love my kid. When I say I'll reshift the gravitational pull of this planet deacon over my kids. You know. My boys in my world. But right is right and wrong is wrong. You could have got your ass up, boy. That was not your tent. You don't own nothing. You're not entitled to nothing. The entitlement is something else. Get up and walk away. And now look, this lack of self-control landed you 35 years in prison, and this kid lost his life. This child is dead, and you're in prison for 35 years. What you mean? Because you couldn't get up. 15,000 times they said, look, dude, you can't sit over here. We don't care about somebody inviting you. You can't sit over here. This is not your tent. This is for our team. Get up. Put your hands on me. I'm scared. It's a contradiction for me. It's a contradiction. What I don't do is sit here and say what I really want to happen with this appeal. But so far, I'm not seeing any legal errors that occurred in this actual trial hearing. And the jury came back in 3 hours. Because that's how straightforward this was. That's a sign that this wasn't complicated. People just made it racially motivated. You take out all the racial motivation and all the cyber crimes committed, doxing judges and sending death threats to both parents and their kids scared to go back to school and all this stuff. You remove all that out of the equation and you just look at the facts of the case. It's very straightforward. Very straightforward. He's guilty. Just like that. Got to learn how to de-escalate. And you got to teach your kids that. This day and age where these kids always want to walk around feel like they got something to prove. What you got to prove? If it costs you your life and your liberty and freedom, you ain't got nothing to prove. You better learn how to walk away. I'd rather you live and everybody else live. And nobody go to jail. Nobody lands in a hospital. No one loses their life. And for you to sit there and act like you hot shit. Nuck if you buck, all that nonsense. You can't be on nuck if you buck mode 24/7. You got to learn how to calm your ass down and do what's best to keep the peace. Walk your ass away. Get up and leave. Go sit somewhere else. That's it. It's that simple. This has nothing to do with race or anything. It's about teaching your kids to de-escalate and maintain self-control and to not enable them and reward them for bad behavior. It makes no sense. Deacon, you got Umar Johnson out here talking about Daddy Metcalf. He calling his grown man daddy. God. Umar Johnson's calling Austin Metcalf's father Daddy Metcalf. Can you believe that shit? Daddy Metcalf did not forgive Karmelo Anthony. And then we see a video where he said it twice at least. He was like, I already forgave him. So you got Umar out here lying about simple stuff like that. You think any of that helps the situation? No, it doesn't. There's no reason to lie about something like that when you just played a video where he said, I forgive him. It's unnecessary. These parents failed this child. And then they topped it off by failing to show up at the sentencing hearing, where you hear the victim impact statement is being read. And you have this moment where you can understand the pain and the grief that they're going through because their child is dead. Yours just incarcerated. Theirs is dead. And they didn't even try to maintain some level of remorse and empathy, to go and hear the victim impact statements, as hard as it is to know your son is about to go to prison for 35 years, where it could have been more. You still have the opportunity to show some level of remorse, to put yourself in the shoes of the other parent that actually lost his child, and listen to the victim impact statements. And they didn't do it. Disgusting. And here they are. They don't mind getting their ass in front of a camera, though, talking about we need some more money. But you can go to the sentencing hearing and listen to the victim impact statements. But they want to ask everybody to keep giving them money, though. Child, you can't be IDK. You can't be on nuck if you buck mode 24/7. At some point, you got to calm the hell down. I have to teach my boys that like that because, you know, I can say I'm a hothead to an extent. But not in a situation where I truly fear for my life. I'm not going to keep sitting somewhere if I fear for my life, and I don't even have to sit here. I can remove myself from the situation. Most people just do that. Most people just get up and walk away. Okay, this thing is getting a little heated. Let me get up. You're going to sit somewhere else. What you mean? And then he's like, we're not going to the sentencing hearing to listen to the victim impact statements, but we go ask for more money because we got to file an appeal immediately. Nothing was fair about this. He got 35 years. He had a reduced bond for $250,000 from $1 million, where it could have been the complete reverse in both scenarios. And then you had the father of the victim to try to have some sort of rapport with the parents, and they just had him removed by police officers. Okay. Can't make this stuff up, man. This is crazy. So now I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Not over here in the LLC. We don't do that.
According to favoritism, which is in and of itself sin. Your hatred is blinding you, and through it you are conceiving a generation of Black boys to only go to jail, never amounting to anything.
Parents need to take up that responsibility. We as parents, we got to keep that in mind. When your kid is old enough to become independent, you can only hope and pray that the things that you taught them stays with them. Teach them how to pray and use wisdom. Use wisdom. Everything can't be a fight or an altercation or an argument. And then somehow you're shocked when you're held accountable. I mean, it's ridiculous. And what are the parents doing? Going on a media tour to ask for more money. You can't make this. Why is GoFundMe allowing this to happen? Is my question.
I loved everything about what this young lady just now said. I'm going to speak on it in a minute, right after this.
I was starting to feel like I was being used for my influence and my connections and resources. When I tell you we raised over $1 million one day, privately, quietly. Wow. They wanted to start another GoFundMe. I said no. I'm not.
Wow. They wanted to start another GoFundMe. Good grief. Good grief. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Wow. You just can't, boy, this stuff writes itself. So neither parent is working. He can't work from home. Didn't they say that the father had a good paying job? He can't work from home. I think they will let him work remote for a while until all this stuff died down a little bit. They want to start another GoFundMe. But they're not looking at what occurred in the court of law with the evidence. Oh, it's painful when, oh man, we try to bend and manipulate the word of God and the law to fit our moot point, to try to configure in our narrative, and not truly educating ourselves on the reality of the situation. It is delusional to the umpteenth power to sit here and say, well, now we're going to start another GoFundMe for the appeal, when the defense fund should have included bond, attorney's fees, court costs, appeals, and everything else in between. Anything related to the court. They've already raised the money for that, because that is what a defense fund is for. They want to start another fund just for the appeal. Why? What? You raised over $600,000. Are they going to report this to the IRS or what? How is this going to go?
They wanted to know, after we pay for the appeal, will the money go to them? No. The extra money don't go back to you. It goes back to the people who gave it. It don't go to nothing else. The money is for the appeal. So, going forward, I am no longer walking with, nor associated, or helping Karmelo Anthony. His daddy in the way.
Wow.
I don't like weak. I hate weak men. I'd rather stand with a strong daddy like that meth cat.
All the black men now finna be mad at Charleston White because of reasons. It's the hypocrisy for me. So he says, hey, I want supporting them, but I can't do it because the parents are just making stupid moves, and they're being disingenuous against their son, against the other family that lost their child. Just completely disingenuous. It's the arrogance. You're gonna have to push that pride to the side and stop asking for people to give you more money for things like this, where you should have used that money more wisely that you did raise. You raised over $600,000 and you're going for broke. Somehow wisdom just goes over their head, huh? This is why God said to use wisdom in all things. They couldn't even manage and budget this $600,000 they got. Isn't this stuff tax-free? You have to pay taxes if you have a Save Go Now or GoFundMe. If you cash that money out, do you have to pay taxes on it? Do y'all know? Or is that tax-free money? How does that go? Because if it's tax-free, that means you got to pay the taxes on your own up front. But think about this, $600,000. It's still a lot of money. It's over $500,000. And you could not manage that money to cover the appeal? Anything dealing with your son's defense? You can't make this up. Miles, if y'all are seeing these clowns in here, if they're getting on your nerves and getting out of pocket and just getting rude and disrespectful, block their asses and let that be it. Because normally I let people exercise their free speech. No one is going to force me to do anything they want me to do. That's not how that works. That don't work over here. They don't run that. Block them. You want to keep trolling and all that stuff? Don't spam my chat. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like what I'm saying or how I'm saying it. But it doesn't stop me from saying it in the way I say it. That shit don't work over here. So if my moms have to block you, they're going to block you. Period. Because I typically just let the comments roll. But get out of pocket if you want to. You get blocked. You think you got the right to say what you want? Well, we got the right not to read your dumb shit. How about that? I have the right to not read your dumb ass comments. Not when you sit here telling me what I should and should not do. We don't do that over here. This is not a dictatorship. So block them. The hell? So now everybody gonna go in on Charleston White. Because he said flat out he done with this because he want to start another GoFundMe when he got a job. I thought he had a good paying job. I would rather you see the light and understand it, at least from an objective stance, as to why this boy should be in jail, than to sit here and think that you're supposed to just go along with things because reasons. That's no. He took someone's life when he could have got up and walked away. And somehow the excuse is, well, he was invited there. I don't give a damn. How many places have you been invited to where you felt like this isn't the right environment for me? Let me leave. And then you left. He could have gotten up and walked away. No one told him to keep sitting there and be defiant. He could have got up and left. You don't sit somewhere where your life is in danger. That's called logic. If logic goes over your head and escape you, then I don't care if you disagree with me. I'm just using logic and common sense here. Who in their right frame of mind stays in a place where they're claiming that they're in fear of their life when they have the chance to just get up and leave? Who does that? And why can't we teach our kids to do that? Kick rocks. That's just logic. We're not defying logic here. We don't defy logic. We're not going to some alternate reality with anybody's nonsense and BS. I don't care about your dumbass excuses because none of that has any sway in the court of law. Go figure. As you can see, the judge didn't care about how half of these trolls feel when the jury came back after 3 hours and found him guilty. None of your dumbass excuses worked in court. Now what? Simply put, the evidence prevailed. Not your opinion. Because facts don't care about that.
Man, then his black weak father trying to play victim. Now, nigga, your son's still living. Hug him, send him some books to read. I got the money, let's start to work on the pill. Anything else don't make sense. Nigga, fucking wrong with you. So, myself, along with criminal defense mitigation specialist, Shannon Rose, along with attorney Mitch Nolte, we are removing ourselves. Mitch was never on the case, but Mitch said he's not taking the case. Mitch said he's not taking the case. Why? Too many hands involved. They're trying to bring too many black lawyers involved. We don't need blackness.
Special partnership alert. We just now linked up with Triple T.
I don't do everybody's sponsors.
Another.
Oh, child, no.
So the dad didn't rub me the wrong way. Nigga.
Wait.
So the dad.
I'll see you on the other side.
We don't need blackness. So the dad didn't rub me the wrong way. Nigga.
You don't know. God.
When I got an email from Mitch Nolte, one of the top attorneys, I didn't get the email. The email was forwarded to me. But if Mitch ain't in and Mitch won't get in and Mitch won't take it, it's something stinky about this. And I'm telling the nigga, say, homie, everybody believe you playing for the money, nigga. Wow. I'm starting to believe you using me for it.
You know, it's as if they just went to an alternate universe, like that video evidence is not, showing efficiently how he could have just got up and walked away and no one was jumping him. And I said this yesterday. If you want to know what a group fight looks like amongst 3-4 big teenage boys, look up what an actual real fight looks like. And then compare that to the video evidence of what occurred underneath that tent. I guarantee you it's going to be like night and day. Sometimes the answer is just right there in front of you. We just got to learn how to navigate to it. If you want to know what it looks like for 2 or 3 boys to sit here and jump one boy while he's sitting down, mind you, because they kept telling him to get his ass up. You really want to know what it looks like for someone to get jumped while they're sitting down in the bleachers, then watch a video of a fight like that happening. A real fight, not a movie clip or something staged. A real fight amongst teenage boys that look like they're grown men with 6 stomachs. These kids are big now. Happening at the school bleachers. You're going to see arms swinging. You got to know characteristics of what that will look like. You got to be able to visualize that. You're going to see items falling, swinging, people probably falling down the bleachers and stuff. It's just going to be madness. You got all this locomotion happening at one time. Pull up a video of 3 or 4 teenage boys having a fight in the stadium, in the stand, at some bleachers. Just watch a video of that. And then look at the video evidence that was released of what happened underneath that tent. Big damn difference. Sometimes it's just a matter of visually seeing this. Because people think that he was being attacked and beat up. No, that was not a fight. And watch a couple videos. Teenage boys fight in bleachers. And just watch a couple of YouTube videos on that. Night and day. I guarantee it. It should be a whole kerfluffle happening, not just under that tent. That fight would have kind of spread out a little bit. You would have had other kids, the administrators, the track coaches, and whatever coming up there trying to break it all up. You would have seen objects, arms, legs, feet flying everywhere. People sliding down and falling down. You would have seen madness. Then watch the video evidence of what happened underneath that tent. Because that's exactly what I did. I had to let me make sure I know what I'm looking at that's different from this. What a real fight looks like. In that same setting where you're in the bleachers. So you can get a realistic perspective of that. That's called wisdom. And then watch the video evidence. It will be night and day for you. Don't watch just one video. Watch like 2 or 3 videos of teenage boys fighting in the bleachers. Just type that in your YouTube search bar. Teenage boys fight in bleachers. It is a complete night and day from what we saw. So you want to talk about somebody having to defend themselves in a fight, in a full fight, while they're sitting down in the bleachers? You're not going to see what you saw in that video evidence. You're going to see all kinds of madness happening all at once. 2, 3 groups here, fighting here, people rushing in, separating. It's madness. You gotta see what that actually looks like. And of big boys, like put kids who play football fighting in bleachers, kids who run track, like so you can get a realistic view of what that would look like. Because I think some people are getting it skewed. They thinking like this is what a fight looks like. That's not what a fight looks like. You kidding me? So if you need a visual of that, just look up videos where you see, put in football teenage boys fighting in the bleachers and watch 2, 3 good videos of this. So you can really see, oh man, I've seen fights in bleachers. That ain't it. And you watch multiple videos so you can see the consistency of it. Not just one. Watch like 2 or 3 good videos. And it will blow your mind. You'll be like, damn, these kids, one of them should have broke his neck. Is this kid falling down the bleachers? I'm telling you, it's complete night and day. You're going to see complete madness happening. Then you'll see a bunch of people trying to come in, intervene, break it up. Other kids trying to come in and help each other out, fighting each other. It's like the fight, it starts with 4 or 5 kids and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger depending on how many kids are watching, depending on what's going on. And you're talking about a situation where you have 2 rival schools or 2 different schools here competing in sports. You got coaches. You got these school campus security that's supposed to be there. Watch a fight of teenage boys in bleachers. Watch a few good YouTube videos of that. Real fights. And I guarantee y'all be like, oh, I see what Lady Luck Club is in. Yeah, no, this was not a fight. I don't know what they were doing. This was not a fight. That way you can see for yourself. You don't have to believe nothing I say. Go watch videos of that. And then watch the video evidence with what occurred between Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. It's a night and day. You talking about chaos and madness. Kids falling and trampling, items and stuff being thrown. fists and arms and feet and legs swinging. You talking about just go watch it. Because I'm telling you right now, Karmelo Anthony was not putting a knife in the kid's chest for self-defense. He simply did that because he wanted to. Because he didn't even have to pull that weapon out of his bag. Why did he have that weapon there in his bag anyway? He didn't have to do any of that. They all sitting down. Nobody was standing over here punching down on him. None of that. You didn't see any of that happen. And he could have walked away. The idea that 35-year-old is a miscarriage of justice. No, he could have gotten life without the possibility of parole. He could have received life without the possibility of parole because the law permits that type of sentencing for the charge. And he got 35 years. And the parents are still sitting here talking about it was not a fair trial. After having the bond reduced from $1 million based on the law to $250,000. Are you kidding me? Nope. Nope. Go watch an actual fight of teenage boys. Okay? In bleachers. In the same environment. And just see what 2-3 good videos of that. If he had a gun, I think he would have used it. He shouldn't have had that weapon. You on a school campus. Why are you having a knife? You can't have those weapons on school campus. And I don't know what kind of school is this. My kids' schools make you have clear backpacks. What kind of school was that? Anybody else got kids in school? Don't y'all have clear backpacks? My kids have to have clear backpacks. So something like that would have been visible in the backpack. He would have had to go out his way to cover that up. He brought a knife to a school. He had a weapon on him. You can't come to school with that. You can't come to school with guns and knives and weapons and stuff. No school permits that. How did he get that on the school campus the whole time? If y'all saw his backpack, I'm like, this school don't have clear backpacks? Mine do. My kids' schools have clear backpacks. Lots of schools have clear backpacks for that reason. Boy, this is something else. Something else. Charleston White being upset is justified.
You want to get the money, but then disassociate yourself from me?
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm here for that boy.
There's a lot to discuss. All right, but I'm going to keep it short. Let's start out with Charleston White. Kudos to you for making that decision. The reason why I say that is everyone's picking a side. Some people are on Karmelo's side. Some people are on the Metcalf's side, right? Just the side of justice, whatever you deem to be justice, right?
Justice is based on the finding of fact, law, and evidence. The end. I do not condone either parent being cyber harassed or doxxed or swatted at all. It accomplishes nothing. It's a cyber crime. You can go to jail. Period. It is highly unnecessary, and it did not sway the court in any way. All it did was create more tension and more hardship and headache for the parents. For what? Parents getting death threats. They both got other kids they have to be worried about. They're already mourning, grieving the loss on the Metcalf side. Karmelo Anthony has 2-3 younger siblings. I don't condone any of that. It's a cybercrime, first of all. Secondly, it's unnecessary because none of that had any sway on the ruling or the jury finding him guilty. So people being doxxed and swatted and having cyber crimes committed against them, and for what? Because you don't like my opinion? It's asinine. It won't affect the appeal process either. No judge is going to sit here and say, well, we're going to give this ruling because your parents were cyber doxxed. No, they're going to look at the evidence of the case. It's just certain things that should just not happen, and it's unnecessary. It did nothing regarding what occurred in court. So people getting mad and frustrated because they're not taking a side. You can't force people to take a side. We live in the United States of America. Threatening judges? That's terroristic acts. Are you kidding? That's FBI territory. But these same little punks out here that's doing all this cybercrime activity, doxing and swatting and all this stuff, be mad as hell if you sue them or you get them locked up. None of that affects what happens in court. So why do it? And the Metcalf father, he was under a gag order. He couldn't even vocally, freely express what was happening with him. Karmelo Anthony parents, that's all they kept talking about. Not one time really being empathetic towards the father of the victim losing his son. There was no reason to do that on either side, period. And you got the Karmelo Anthony's father sitting here trying to get another GoFundMe started. You can't, boy. Sending him a death threat does nothing. Because if he starts another GoFundMe, what is doxing him going to do? The appropriate response would be, let's challenge this GoFundMe. What is the purpose of it? What did he do with the funds previously? Or you could just decide not to give him any more damn money. Now you're going to have to go to work, bro. Can't make this up. Don't leave him any money. Just tell him, look, you got the right to appeal, but you gotta go back to work. Don't you have a job? You got to go back to work. You want the public to keep giving you money for a defense fund. But you can't tell us what exactly you did with the $600,000 you already raised. No. It's called accountability. Once again, no one should be curtailing that. And even with the parents, they need to be able to give an account for how they spent this money. And they can't do that. No one's asking. It's insane. How much does this minister of justice get paid? Because he's a convicted felon shaking up babies. Man, come on.
I'm on the side of you shouldn't have to stab anybody to defend yourself from another kid at school.
Yeah, because they put their hand on the shoulder.
On the block and it's late at night and you fear for your life. You don't know if you're going to make it home. That's a difference from being at a track meet and feel like I might not make it home if I fight this man with my hands. I got to pull out something instead. I'm completely on the Metcalf side for that. But let's go for Charleston White. Charleston White's on the side of trying to make sure that he has enough money to defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Cool. They raised $1 million, which is absolutely nuts, especially if somebody lost their damn son. And this family is...
Wait a minute. Was it $1,600,000? I want to get this number right. How much did they raise? He's saying $1 million. I saw 625. Okay, so I did just a quick search. It says that they raised $634,000. The initial goal was $1.4 million, but fell short, raising just shy of $634,000. Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Has that been updated? Is anyone saying anything any differently? Because that's a lot of money. I'm seeing 634. I just did a quick Google search. Oh, I wouldn't know reply. Yeah, it's shady as it gets. I can't stand it. It's a cybercrime. I mean, So they had a GoFundMe and a Give Send Go. So the 634 is combined, right? 634,000 combined between GoFundMe and Give Send Go. It says the Give Send Go funds were dispersed. Oh, let me switch over right quick. Give Send Go confirmed that the funds were dispersed over the past year for lawful purposes, including legal defense and family relocation, and that the stated purpose was complete when the campaign was shut down. For the fundraiser launched by the mother in April 2025 had an initial goal of $1.4 million, but fell short, raising just shy of $634,000. And this is from Fox News. You guys see the citations noted here in the summary. While the stated purpose included supporting his legal defense, that would include the appeal. The campaign also covered urgent family needs, such as relocation due to threats, basic living costs, transportation, counseling, and security measures. Hence, first of all, hence why the cyber crimes, the doxing, the death threats, all of that is stupid. Because it gave them a reason to say, now we need to use the money for this, as opposed to court fees, attorney's fees, bond, and the appeal. Now we got to sit here and pay for relocation because of that. You see how it's counterintuitive? All because somebody's saying something you don't agree with or like. But look what happened. So as opposed to them using the $634K strictly for legal defense, they had to come back and say, well, we got to relocate because we in all these death threats. We've been doxxed. We have 2 other minor children. What the hell? I still don't support him starting another GoFundMe. I just don't. And Charleston White, it doesn't seem like he's the type where he's just going to be mad about that for no reason. He had to, boy, they must have really pissed him off. But this is what happens too when you have all these other sideline distractions with the cyber crimes. And now it gives them an excuse to say, we got to use X amount of dollars to go get a new house. Like, come on, man. When all of this should have just been used strictly for the legal defense and nothing else. Like, I don't think he should start another GoFundMe though. He's going to have to go back to work. $634,000 is still a lot of money. I honestly can't imagine myself moving into a home where the value of the house is more than what I've raised, as opposed to just, you know what, let's be smart about this. If we're going to move anywhere else, we shouldn't be spending a whole lot of money with it because we're going to need it for the attorneys. You still got to use wisdom in this, but it does not help to get doxxed and threatened.
Raising all of this daggone money. But check this out.
Crazy.
It's not being used for their houses and their cars and their bank accounts. It's not being used for that. Although they wanted to use it for that. They wanted to use it for that. And that's when Charleston said, you know what? I'm not here for that. You trying to pay bills, Slim. You trying to take care of wifey. You trying to take care of holidays and whatever else is on your mind. I get it. Y'all moved into that huge daggone house. That huge house comes with bills. And you thought that some of this money was going to be able to take care of that. You were wrong, sir. You were wrong.
Because
the people that believe that your son at least deserves some type of representation, we're putting in for that. We're not putting in for your house or for your cars or for your wife or for anything else that's your life, your own personal life. They're putting in for your son. That right there, in my opinion, is honorable. That's honorable because not only is Charleston White taking up for himself, like, yo, you're not going to be using me for clout, using my name to make all this money for your pockets. I understand what's happening right now, but that's not why I'm here.
Woe to those who call evil good and good evil.
This young lady right here is going to change the world. Much love to her. Much love to her. Accountability is extremely important, and especially for a young lady that never had a kid a day in her life. She's just dealing with common sense, logic, pure logic, and understanding.
Then we say common sense, logic, and understanding. Then we say this use wisdom. Just pure logic and common sense gets you a long way. That's wisdom. Common sense and logic gets you a long way. If you don't know what a fight looks like, then watch a fight. of some teen boys fighting in the bleachers. Then you can see why we keep saying that was not self-defense. He just took this boy's life for no reason. He should have never had a weapon on him on a school campus. He could have just got up and walked away and used wisdom, de-escalated, maintained some level of self-control. You got people sitting here repeatedly telling you, can you get up? You're not supposed to be sitting over here. Just get up. That moment was not worth it. That's just logic and common sense. You don't even have to think about a law to use common sense and logic. Wisdom and good judgment. Don't stay in a situation you're talking about, I fear for my life, and then you egging and provoking and antagonizing people to put their hands on you and to punch you just to see what happens. What you mean? Why does it even have to go there? Just get up. But the parents have not asked Karmelo Anthony this. They're not even asking that of themselves. Why didn't my child just get up?
And of the way that life is supposed to go. And she's speaking honestly. She's speaking with a smile on her face, and sometimes she's speaking with anger in her face, because she vehemently believed that Black people can do so much better if we just held each other accountable. Be responsible for your family,
and we
your
gotta use common
community,
sense.
and the people that you represent, and
He coulda
everything will
walked
be
away.
all right. You don't want your kids going out there
Period.
being beat down and killed. You want them to have a higher chance of returning home. Then raise up some respectful young men and young women, and the likelihood of them returning home is extremely high. Start the study to show yourself approved. That means with everything that's law, because your kids are going to need to know the law, and they're going to have to study too once they get older. But with the law, with politics, understanding the policies that's going around the country, local policies, local politics, national politics, international politics, everything, because it's extremely important that you no longer just roll with a group of individuals simply because they claim to represent your color of individuals, and you're not holding them accountable. You just believe that they know it all and they will not lead you astray. So you vote for them blindly simply because they're your favorite color of person.
Hold on. Disturb radical. Stop sending all caps in my chat. That's rude. And it's not necessary. You see this? Lack of self-control. Because I already told my mom, people get out of pocket, block them. This is what I mean by here. Why are you yelling? You don't need to send all caps to get my attention. I'm reading my chat. What are you yelling for? What's the matter with you? Is this scenario right here? I'm not going to agree with you. I agree with the facts and the law. Now you could keep throwing a temper tantrum and get blocked with all this caps and all this yelling and shit. Or understand, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. You see? Sometimes it helps to de-escalate. That's what's lacking here. Why are you yelling? Stop yelling. It's stupid. And you talking about somebody pushed too far when he could have just got up and walked away. Or guess what? He didn't even have to go over there to sit underneath that tent at all. He didn't have to do that. He could have just sat anywhere else. Or if they said, hey, man, you can't sit over here. This is not your spot. We got this reserved for our team. Why didn't he just leave? He telling them to punch him and touch him. That's not him being pushed to the point of no return. That's him provoking. That's how the law sees it. I mean, this is coming from morons that don't understand email etiquette or probably can't spell the word etiquette. But all caps is yelling. It's not necessary. I'm reading the comments just fine. You need to sit here and send all caps for what? Stupid. Child, please. You can imagine if that person was speaking, they would be hollering. You don't know what people would do! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! He was pushed to no avail! Exclamation point times 5. And yet, he didn't get his dumb ass up and walk away. Now he's in prison for 35 years. You using all caps does not change the fact that he's still in jail. It just doesn't. So what's your point again? Because you have none. And it's funny how that jury could care less about you using all caps and exclamation points in my chat as if that changes the ruling. This is what I mean. None of that changes the ruling. He could have got up and walked away. He should not have had that weapon. And what happened to fist fights again? Because, just you want to sit here and say you were in a fight. Why not just fight with your fist? So he could use his fist. He had to pull out a knife. And they were all sitting down. And they just wanted him to leave. And he couldn't walk away. Somehow his legs didn't work. Exclamation point times 6. Some clown shit. Don't come in my chat with that. All exclamation points, all caps. Lady. What you doing? Y'all dudes afraid to scrap. Man, you know what y'all remember Good Friday? I mean, Friday with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. And the dad, may he rest in peace. He said flat out, you don't need no gun. Y'all men, y'all boys these days, y'all act like y'all don't know how to fight and take a punch. Some punks and cowards. He could have walked away when they said 15 times, can you get up? That's what makes Friday such an iconic movie. It's realistic. Why you just can't, you want to go out here and have a fist fight with Debo? Then have a fist fight with him. Yeah, put your dukes up. Like, what you doing? And somehow, we've escalated to just straight up using weapons that could take someone's life. He didn't even aim. Let me tell you something. He used a knife. He pulled out a knife out of his backpack when he could have got up and walked the hell away. And he didn't even aim for like an arm or a hand. He went straight for his chest. How in the entirety of all of Earth do you say that if I'm going to take somebody, I'm just going to go straight for the chest? I'm not trying to incapacitate him to get away from him because he could have just got up and walked away. No, I'm just going to go straight for the chest where your heart is. Man, like Pop said on Friday in the movie, young boys act like they just don't know how to fight now. They're scared to fight. You get a lot more respect when you just go out there and deliver old-fashioned ass whooping. You learn how to take a punch or two, you'll be all right, but you'll live to see a new day. Deadly force takes a life. Then what? And now you're in prison. No, lady, lie. All caps and exclamation points. Dumb shit.
They're your favorite color of human being. Then everything becomes about color. What you don't realize, you're teaching these kids that everything, every excuse, every time you fell at something, it wasn't your fault. You can blame somebody and blame it on racism. This is what we're raising up. We're raising up suckers. We're raising up punks. We're raising up words that I don't want to say right now because I'm trying to be respectful. I don't want to cut it out during editing. All right. But that young lady was cooking. Much love to her. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments below. If you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm
hit the like button.
Reporting live from Irish Club Fight.
Hit that like button, y'all. This is something else. He said it best. These punks that can't take a swing. Karmelo Anthony couldn't handle rain. He passed by 2 tents to go to that one and didn't even want to get up, realizing it's not his tent. It didn't belong to his school. He didn't go to that school. It's not his tent. Could have just left. No. It's by any means necessary, Lady Luck. All caps and exclamation points. Oh, okay. Now he's in prison for 35 years. Then.
Plus News, I'm John Abba. It's been close to 2 weeks since the trial of Karmelo Anthony would come to an end, but people are still continuing to follow the case. As you should know, 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony would be found guilty of murder over an incident between he and fellow high school student Austin Metcalf at a track meet last year. Now, according to reports, Anthony would be requested to move from a tent, and upon his refusal would be then pushed by Metcalf, and that's when Anthony would bring out a knife-like weapon to stab Metcalf once in the chest. Now, the story has went on to create a large amount of emotion and racial divide, as many people believe that Anthony was defending himself from Metcalf and others.
My brother was jumped and stabbed to death 20 years ago. So naturally, people ask how I feel about Karmelo Anthony. 35 years, and my answer might make some people uncomfortable. I don't see a monster. I see a kid who was scared. My brother was jumped, he was stabbed to death, and he was the one being attacked, and he didn't have a thing in his hands to stop it. Now, I have spent the last 20 years asking a question that I can't put down. What if my brother had a knife that night? Would he be alive? Would he have been the one who walked away because he protected himself? And if he had, would they have called him a murderer? Would they have given him 35 years? And that's what I see in Karmelo, a kid who was being jumped, a kid who was being antagonized, a scared kid who reached for the only thing that meant he might make it home.
But yet the other kid didn't have a knife at all. You bring knives to a fist fight? And when did the other kid use a fist? I didn't even see a slap. This video was 3 days ago. The video evidence was released. And I'm not going to sit here and agree with everything everybody say. That's not how that works. But I go on video evidence. And we went through that yesterday. For 6 good hours. That was not self-defense. You talking about having to see a fight that did not occur. What was the fight? He could have walked away. He could have got up. 15 times we asked him to get up. He didn't want to leave. Why? Why would he not want to leave if he's scared? No one can answer me that. Why would he not want to get up and leave if he was scared? Can anyone answer me that? Why would he not want to get up and walk away if he was scared? If he was scared, why didn't he get up and leave? Why didn't he remove himself from that if he was scared? Why continue to sit there if you're scared? How are you being jumped? We're not even seeing a fight happening in video. But why didn't he get up if he was scared? Can anyone answer me that? 15 times they asked him to get up. Why didn't he just get up? He wants to sit here and decry self-defense, but you could have got up and left if you are in fear of your life. No one forced him to sit there. He could have got up and walked away. What? Just get up and walk away. They're asking you to leave. Leave. You're sitting around a bunch of people you claim are intimidating you, jumping you, and attacking you. And you gonna keep sitting there? Why? Get up and walk away. Why continue to sit there? He pulled out a knife and stabbed someone. And I didn't see that boy even swing and punch him. I didn't see Austin Metcalf swing or punch or hit anybody. And we saw the video evidence. I'm not going to sit here and go to some alternate reality to make up something that did not exist in the video. We did not see a fight at all. We saw a shove. So you get shoved and your natural reaction is, let me take time to pull out a knife out my backpack and then say, touch me, see what happens. Punch me, see what happens. They still didn't punch him, but he still stabbed him in the chest. He didn't go for a hand or an arm. And then was able to run around the field for a good 3 minutes without anyone coming behind him or jumping him. None of that. He sat over there. He could have got up and walked away. He could have walked away. He had every opportunity to walk away. He had 3 whole minutes to walk away. Why didn't he walk away? This is what I'm just trying to, make it make sense. Why didn't he walk away? I'm trying to pull this up again. He could have walked away. I'm trying to see when the fight occurred. He comes out. He enters the stadium right here. And walked all the way over there to that tent, passing this one, passing another one, and got over here where they were already there. They were already there. Why you didn't sit up here? Why didn't he sit over here? Why didn't he go up here with the rest of the team members? All of this, he chose to do all of this. No one forced and pushed him over here towards this tent. It wasn't like he was told to go sit there at that specific tent either. Even if he were invited, he could have said, nah, no thanks. I don't know that team. Why didn't he come? His teammate, he came out here with these other people. Why he didn't go up here and help put this tent up? Because these kids are sensitive to rain and water now. Oh no, can't get my hair wet. He walked over here to this tent. And all this open space and opportunity. Look at God. All this open space and opportunity to sit anywhere else. Why not sit a couple bleachers up from the tent? And you can summit over there. Your friend call you over there. You don't know if the seating is available, open or not. Let me ask and see if I can sit over here for a couple minutes and hang out with my friend that invited me. Because, we got to use logic and common sense and good wisdom. If they would have said, no, this is reserved. Okay, let me go up a few bleachers. And then the friend that invited you come out and join you and come talk to you for a minute. Period. Here's my thing. Who invited him over there? Because all of them said that this area was reserved for this team. So who invited him over here? Who? Name that person. Name the witness. Austin didn't have to walk away. That was his tent. He was already there. Why should he have to walk away? Karmelo went to this tent that's not his, nor did it belong to his school. No, he didn't have to walk away. He was there first. Why would Austin Metcalf need to walk away from his tent? No, that's a dumb question. No, he should not have walked away. He was there first. It's his tent. This tent belonged to his team, for his people. They were there first. The end. All this open space, all these bleachers around here. Why couldn't Karmelo Anthony go sit anywhere else? Anywhere else he could have sat. All these open bleachers. Absolutely not. Austin Metcalf and his brother were there first. That is their tent that belonged to them. And correct me if I'm wrong. Karmelo Anthony did not go to this school, correct? Was he there for a track meet? What was he there for? And I know they like, that's why I'm like, who invited him over there? Karmelo Anthony, these folks trying to just come up with dumb shit, but they don't realize that's not how evidence works in court. You just coming up with stuff off the top of your head is not how evidence works in court. The jury does not care if you're making it up that someone invited him over there. Because what is that person's name? What's the person's name? What is that person's name that invited him over there? Which witness was that? Because all of them were telling him to leave. So who invited him over there? Austin Metcalf did not need to leave. That he was there first, and that is his team's tent. The end. Karmelo Anthony just walked over there and sat his ass down when he could have just got the hell up. All these bleachers around here. Because these clowns still can't say, all these people are still trying to make up these dumbass defenses that's not going to work in court. Why is it that he couldn't just sit anywhere else? Why all this open space and opportunity? Perhaps in this alternate reality, these bleachers are filled. Maybe here in the Lady Luck Club, maybe they're seeing people sitting out there and all the bleachers are filled and we're missing it. Perhaps all the aliens and Martians from their alternate universe are sitting out there and we don't see it. Maybe that's the case. Maybe they should tell me, Lady Luck, you're not seeing with your alien eyes, okay? You get in our alternate universe, in our alternate reality, the parallel universe. You on Earth 616. You got to come to Earth 919. All the bleachers are filled in our universe. In our reality, there was nowhere else to sit. Yeah, no, that's it. There was nowhere else to sit in our alternate reality. They're like, you looking at this all wrong. No. All this is filled in. It's a bunch of aliens and horses and sheep and cow and donkeys and stuff. It was nowhere else to go. They're like, you got to see this. You got to come to our Earth to see this. Out there, Lady Luck, you got to put your alien sunglasses on. What you mean? Well, you got to laugh. Sometimes you just got to laugh because the stupidity will be overwhelming if you don't. Lady Luck, you on the wrong Earth. No, this happened on Earth 919, not 616. You in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You got to come to DCU. Earth 919. All these bleachers are filled. All these bleachers are filled in. You don't see it? All these aliens and stuff sitting in. You got the whole team from Space Jam. Michael Jordan is still playing basketball in our Earth. You on the wrong Earth, Lady Luck. No, Lady Luck, you seeing it all wrong. You got to come to our planet. It's so ridiculous. Oh, Lord have mercy. No, we're on Earth. We're on the wrong planet. Now we got to go to Earth 919, okay? So at some point we'll just have to travel to a whole new Earth to see that these bleachers, all the seating is gone. Karmelo Anthony could not have left and sat any damn where else because there's no space. Lady Luck, all this is taken up. People is crowded. You see that? There's a whole section up here. All this up here, yeah, no, these people sitting here. You know that? Now he could have moved up 2 or 3 bleachers. Now people will sit there. He would have landed in the lap of Cork, from Thor, Love, and Thunder. Cork was sitting there with his rock babies. Oh man. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen sitting all in the back. You're on the wrong Earth, Lady Luck. You cannot see this as a human. You gotta morph into an alien. And then see that once you see through your alien eyes, yeah, you can see there was nowhere else for Karmelo Anthony to sit at. You see white bleachers that are, there and no one else is there, but we see all the aliens of our galaxy sitting in this stadium. Lady Luck Club don't see what we see. It's impossible. He could not have sat anywhere else, Lady Luck. No, he could have moved and sat over one on this bleach over here. Still would have kind of been parallel, but not like sitting in somebody's spot. No, he couldn't sit over here, right there, right there. He could sit right there. He could have sat his little ass right there. Nope. He couldn't do that, Lady Luck. What you mean? No, Lady Luck. It's 6 aliens. It's a whole alien family. You know that? Could have got his ass up. God. Yeah, no, Lady Luck, you got it. No. Earth 919, all this is filled up. His fans out here. There was nowhere else to sit. He would have been sitting in the alien's lap. No, that's impossible. For him to move one over? No. Because, he's supposed to be able to just dominate the tent and sit where the hell he want to sit, despite the fact that he had all this space and opportunity. No, he's supposed to be able to just sit there, and that's not his tent. And all this was reserved for the team that did not belong to Karmelo Anthony. What you mean, Lady Luck? No, those are aliens. We just can't see them. They're invisible to us. We got to go to a different planet to see these aliens sitting up here, crowding up all these spots in these bleachers. The aliens are transparent. We can't see it because the light retracts around them and it bends and it creates a rainbow. I just want people to understand how stupid this sounds to me when I'm asking very straightforward, logical questions. And I see nothing but space and opportunity in these bleachers. And somehow, Austin Metcalf was supposed to leave his tent that him and his team were already at, so that Karmelo Anthony can sit there with the big mad face and do what he want to do. And then dare everybody to touch him and punch him and hit him like he run this whole stadium. Now, how dare you tell me I'm the king of this track field? Oh, boy. No, you're prison inmate number 916432. For 35 years. Because you didn't just get your ass up and move over one bleacher. Whoo, child. Now we got to see, y'all, we in the wrong planet. Okay? In order for you to see a whole fight that happened, you gotta go to another planet. Y'all don't see this big ass fight happening? Look at this big ass brawl happening. You don't see this later up? He was scared. He couldn't just get up and walk away over to the other side of the bleacher. But no, he was scared. Y'all don't see this big ass fight happening? Boy, they tearing each other up. It's the most calm fight I've ever seen in my entire life. y'all don't see this fight. Because that's what he tried to claim. He said he was being jumped. Y'all don't see this big ass fight happening? Dude, Lord have mercy. See, boy, this alternate reality travel is exhausting, okay? We got to go to a totally different reality to see that there's a big ass fight happening right here. 3, 4 boys jumping on one, and he's still sitting there, daring everybody to punch him and hit him. As opposed to just moving over one. Nope. Y'all don't see this? Look at this kerfluffle. Big ass fight happening. Y'all don't see that? Stop it. Push. That's it. Stab. Run up the stairs. Oh, wow. Wow. He got beat up so bad. Oh. Do y'all understand why I'm clowning these people trying to push this narrative about him having self-defense when it's not? Because when did they start fighting? I missed the big ass fight that occurred here. That was a big old fight. Karmelo didn't look hurt at all. He didn't even look like he had a scratch on him. Did he even get punched in the face? Oh, it was a push. And then Austin had to get stabbed in the chest and fell down the bleachers. While he's still running. Who chasing him? Who surrounding him? Oh, man. Oh, wow. Look at this. All this space over here. Y'all, oh, look at that. All these aliens sitting here taking up all this space where he could have sat any damn where else. That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all got the mental time travel. We got to go to a whole new planet because there was nowhere else for this boy to sit. He couldn't get his little ass up and move because, he was so scared and all. Telling people to punch him and touch him and see what happens. But you're not too much right to just get up and walk away. But yet he has no problem running away after he puts a knife in somebody's chest. So he could run away, but he couldn't just get his ass up and slide over one bitch. He could just grab his bag. Let me get up and move over here. Hey, man, if you want to holler at me, whoever fictitious person called him over there. Yeah, no. He could just slide over one bitch. Because, it's an alien sitting right there. Yeah, there was no space. No room. You can't sit here. There's no room. All these transparent aliens are sitting there taking up all this bleacher space. How dare they? Oh, he's surrounded. Why he's sitting down? Oh no, is he still surrounded? Look like he's able to run freely. Boy, he get down the bleachers fast. Funny how he couldn't just get his ass up and move before he even sat here and pulled out a knife and put it in his Austin Metcalf's chest. Somehow now he knows how to leave. Now he can leave. Now he had to stab him first to leave. He could get up the whole time. He claimed he was scared. They would beat me up. When? Well, I'm just somehow missing this whole kerfluffle. Y'all see a commotion or anything? Arm swinging, kicking. Maybe that's happening in the alternate reality where he's really getting wailed on, and you just see a whole bunch of boys just beating each other up over here. Well, this fight is it's like, wow. One push, and then you get stabbed in the chest. And somehow now he knows how to get his ass up and leave. If this was truly an accident of some sort, he would have just, oh man, oh no, let me help. Nope, he runs away and tries to ditch the knife. Because there's nowhere else to sit. Funny how he's able to run freely. He's not bumping into a bunch of people because, it's not crowded or anything. Here on Earth, 616 is not crowded. God. Good God. Yeah, oh, this is something else. This crazy. Johnny Walker Dre, how you doing, honey? Next month, we'll be ready to collab again here in the LLC. You let me know what you have available starting in July, okay? Because we need to talk about this one, Johnny Walker Dread. Y'all, shout out to Johnny Walker Dread. Fantastic content creator. Keeping his foot on Richie Rashad's neck as well with his scamming ass. Johnny Walker Dread, you see all these aliens taking up all this space in the bleachers? He had nowhere else to go. Because my whole thing is why he just didn't get up and go sit somewhere else. Now, stabbing somebody was, his only option. Really? Not getting up, just sliding over one bench. This is why the jury said in 3 hours, he's guilty. I thought he was surrounded. They running after him. Funny how they never actually jumped on him or punched him or beat him up or hold him down. I don't see a fight happening. Who is he being surrounded by? Does this look like he can beat up to y'all? Because they say he was getting beat up right here. He was surrounded. He's walking by himself right now. You see the little white dot? Who's surrounding him? It must be the aliens. It's all the transparent aliens we can't see here on Earth 616. Boy, this is something else. Y'all, this fight is crazy intense, ain't it? It's a one-sided fight. While Austin Metcalf is now fighting for his life, he's still not being surrounded or beat up by anybody. He's talking to one other person. And yet he feels so threatened to where he's going to walk back over here near this area where he claimed he was so threatened. Because, none of that makes sense. No logic in this. What's the logic? Boy, this is something else. I'm not seeing him get jumped, beat up, punched, or nothing. They say he was surrounded. I'm just trying to figure out Johnny Walker Dread. If you are in fear of your life and you have nothing but space and opportunity to go sit anywhere else, would you still sit under a tent where people are telling you 15 times to please leave and move because you're sitting in a designated area for other people? You're supposed to be in fear of your life. Would you continue to just sit there where you're in fear of your life? Or would you just get up and walk away? Maybe me being a mom and a whole woman is somehow skewing my perspective. So let me ask, Happy Father's Day. If you're a father, Happy Father's Day. Let me gauge the room to all the real men. Would you just sit here if you feel like you're in fear of your life and you getting jumped and beat up? Or would you just slide over and go sit somewhere else? Who does that? He didn't fear his life, but he sat here for 3-4 whole minutes. Why? The whole time they tell him to get up. Boy, this is something else, ain't it? Shout out to Johnny Walker Dread. You all make sure you go check out his great content on his channel. Boy, you can't make this up. I don't like being where I'm not welcome. Me either, Johnny Walker Dread. If I'm in fear of my life and I'm surrounded and I'm getting beat up because somehow this is a fight. The kids are categorizing this as a fight now. This is somehow what a fight looks like to the average person for reasons. I've never seen a fight this calm in all my life. Amongst boys with all that testosterone, they playing football, run track, and all this other stuff, and somehow this is a fight amongst 3 or 4 different big boys. Okay. Nobody's swinging, throwing stuff, falling down the bleachers, none of that. He getting beat up right here, he said. He said he was getting beat up. You see him? Who's fighting him? Because all of these kids would have got up and tried to break him up. if they were fighting. Either they would have got in the fight or broken up the fight. But I expect to see a disbursement if there's a fight, because logically that's what happens in a fight. Either it swells and it grows and more people get in the fight, or you have all these kids trying to break it up because, you know, they don't want to see their friends get in trouble. He had his twin brother there with him. You think his brother would have allowed him to just stay in a fight like this? He would have broken it up and probably walked his brother away if they were fighting. People forget how fights operate, I guess. This is not how a fight works. Not in high school. Well, high school boys? Yeah, somehow this is supposed to be a whole brawl. Somehow he's being jumped right here. I don't see any locomotion like this. Well, where is he getting beat up? I'm not even seeing people move. 3 whole minutes he sat there. Got stabbed. That's it. He ran up. 3 whole minutes. He could have just moved over one bleacher. Make it make sense. We're not going to make-believe land to see something that did not happen, because people don't know what a fight looks like amongst teenage boys at high school in bleachers. Child boo.
He lived, and living got him 35 years. And that's a sentence I don't believe that his white peers would.
Yeah, can't do it.
Other necessary expenses. Now, as those funds first began to surpass into the hundreds of thousands, many who were against Anthony would call out his supporters and would later accuse the family of mismanaging the funds before his trial would even take place.
If you all don't know by now, that family have raised over $500,000, and that's just what we know. That's just what we know. We don't know about the other stuff. We don't know if them two parents were still working or not. But what we know, they raised over $500,000 that was supposed to be sent to the boy attorney fee.
Fast forward to now, as Karmelo has just submitted a notice to appeal against his recent trial, it appears that the Anthony family is in need of more money. Over on his Facebook.
Yeah, because $500,000, boy, is something else. It's not enough, Lady Luck. It's got to be $2 million. $3 million. Y'all remember the count on Sesame Street? How dare you say shouldn't keep raising money for things? He didn't have a bond fund. Now he needs an appellate court fund. The legal defense fund went towards the relocation fund. We're just funding everything all over the place. $6 million. Oh, my God.
Facebook page, Karmelo's father, Drew Anthony, would reveal that the family is working to get more funds, as Karmelo's original Give Send Go donation page would be taken down now that the trial has come to an end. A part of his Facebook message, he would go on to share that a new platform they tried using called Spot Fund would ultimately decide to not allow them to raise any funds on their platform because, according to them, their new fund falls out of their acceptable use policy. This would go on to prompt Anthony's father to send out an alarming message. In all caps, he would write, "People, we are under attack. All money will be refunded."
We who? We who? Both parents are getting death threats and doxing and swatting. Did Austin Metcalf's father use money to relocate? Did he even relocate? He was getting the same type of threats. I don't agree with any of the threats. It's unnecessary. Because look what they did. Why did anyone need to threaten to send them death threats? Only for them to use the money that was supposed to be for the defense fund to try to relocate and upgrade their living. They didn't think, like, even if we are in mortal danger where we have to leave right now, let's still be reasonable and sensible about this. because we can't keep asking the public to keep giving us money. Why doesn't the father go to work? He has a job. Is he not employed? I have to keep working. You can't make this up. I have a regular job too. I don't get this. You got people out here that really need help. You know how far $10,000 will get me? $10,000 will take me a long way. They raised $634,000. Even if you had to get an apartment, like a 4-bedroom, like apartment or extended stay, that would have more than taken care of living expenses for a year. I would have gotten a short-term lease, got a quick apartment, 4-bedroom apartment. I think it's like 2 other kids and them. You get 4 bedrooms, maybe 5, 4 bedrooms. And then to be reasonable and live meager and pay rent for 6 months. And then put the rest towards the attorney's fees. Dude, they didn't even think twice about this. $900,000 house being rented for over $3,500 a month in rent in Texas. Oh my God. Why would you want to spend that much money in rent if it's temporary? You still have a house, so they're not paying mortgage? Oh my God. He isn't working, so he need to get a job. He gonna have to get a job. He gotta get a job. Y'all see how long I've been live today and yesterday? You gotta work hard here on YouTube because you got to. But I'm willing to put in the work. And you got him sitting here just saying, keep giving us money because we need an appellate fund. It's like, dude, get you a job where you can work from home, even if it's temporary. Get you like a little contract position until at least you get through this appellate phase. But you're gonna have to do something. You cannot expect the public to completely take care of you. That's not fair. He's in jail. Like Jesus. Oh my God. And they wonder why Charleston White is mad.
We want to make another attempt without verification. Thank you in advance. Please be patient. As far as the email denying them from using Spot Fund, it will go on to read, "Hi, Kayla. Kayla Hayes, who was Anthony's mother. This is Maria from Spot Fund. I hope you're doing well. After careful consideration, we have made the difficult decision to remove your fundraiser from our platform as it falls outside of our acceptable use policy, terms and conditions, section 3E. Please know that this decision is not a reflection on the hardships your family may be experiencing. We understand that this is an incredibly difficult and emotional time. Any donations received through the campaign will be refunded to the respective donors in accordance with our policies. We recognize that the outcome may be disappointing, and we are truly sorry for any additional stress this may cause. We wish you the best moving forward."
What was the actual violation of the acceptable use policy here? Like they say, okay, we're gonna use it for legal funds, and then they was trying to pull it out, talking about we got to pay, for our cell phone bill. Like what was? Did they ever say this is Spot Fund? They got all these crowd funds. Acceptable use policy. Because I'm trying to figure out, like, what is that specific one cite? Section 3E? It says section 3E. Okay, so the Spot Fund acceptable use policy, section 3E. The platform's terms and conditions and general acceptable use principles indicate that section 3E would likely address prohibited political and harmful content. No campaigns are allowed that benefit far right or far left political groups or groups that support violence of any kind. All campaigns are subject to internal review for compliance. Spot fund reserves the right to cancel or suspend any campaign for any reason. You cannot run. So they thinking that this was more of a politically campaign fund? Boy, it's something else. So they were trying to do it under the guise of a political campaign fund? Child?
Thank you again for your understanding. Warm regards, Maria. Now, as mentioned, Anthony has submitted a notice of appeal to begin the process of fighting against his case. For some, they feel that due to the fact that Anthony had an all-white jury and the way his hired attorney failed to properly defend him makes the appeal necessary. Now, in the notice, Anthony would further reveal and confirm that he and his family don't have any money to bring on a new lawyer, as he would describe himself as penniless, destitute, an indigent person, too poor to employ counsel, as he's now hoping that the court will provide him with free representation as things move forward. As far as his previous attorney, Mike Howard, he is a private for hire defense attorney, despite some claiming that the Anthonys pocketed the original donation money by using a public defender. Following the outcome of the trial, Karmelo's father would admit that he too believed that Howard failed them and regret going with Howard as their son's attorney.
And as parents, have you all struggled with guilt, asking yourselves, is there anything differently? I know, Kayla, you said you wish you had gone to that track meet. Is there anything that you both wish you could have done differently?
I wish I would have just been rebellious. I was told, don't talk to this person. Don't talk to this person. I feel like it was just a setup. Now, so they told us, go get white attorneys. Every black person I went to, white attorney. No, white attorneys, they set them off.
Wait, what? He said, I wish I would have been rebellious. You understand the problem? Even that type of language, this is the example you've been setting. I wish I just would have been rebellious. Why is that the first answer? What does that mean? Be rebellious. So somehow now you think you should not have to listen to any legal advice? What does that mean? God.
White attorneys. Every black person I went to, white attorneys. No, white attorneys, they set them up, pushed them. Hey, here you go. I mean, no objections.
Over on social media, many have continued sharing their.
So he said, I wish I would not have went to a white attorney? What the hell? I don't even know what he's saying. Why is he not speaking clearly?
Talk to this person. Don't talk to this person. I feel like it was just a setup. Now, so they told us, go get white attorneys. Every black person I went to, white attorney. No, white attorneys, they set them up, pushed them. Hey, here you go. I mean, no objections.
Over on social media, many have continued sharing their thoughts about the Anthony's handling of their son's serious case, their now alleged financial troubles, and some are even calling out his parents with more accusations.
Karmelo Anthony's parents are not banding together for justice. They are banding together for their pockets. They don't give a fuck about their son. They don't care about the justice system doing their son wrong. They care about using this as a political pawn so they can fucking pat their fucking pockets. So why in the fuck am I going to band together for a young man when his parents won't band together for him? I'm sorry to say it, but it's the truth. They don't give a fuck about their son.
To the sentencing hearing.
Now, do I think Andrew Anthony and Kayla Hayes misappropriated any funds in relation to Karmelo Anthony? No. I watched Andrew Anthony.
How could you know that? We haven't seen any receipts on how they spent it. They're saying we didn't use the money to get us in a home where we're paying $3,500 a month or get a new car or any. Okay, so how did you spend it? How much was that Minister of Justice paid? Because he's an ambulance chaser. How much was that guy paid? He doesn't even file taxes. How much did they give him?
Thug. He's not a thug. He's what they would call a kind-hearted gentleman. So for ignorant, thuggish, dogmatic black men, that may come across as weak. But if you've never been to jail, never been pulled over, had a ticket.
You can't be kind-hearted talking about punch me, see what happens, touch me, see what happens, and then you stab someone in the chest. Not the hand or the arm to incapacitate them, no, in the chest. knowing that they could have lost, they will lose their life. I don't even know how it's kind of harder to sit there and just ignore them and then dare them to touch you. And then the resort is you pulling out a knife as opposed to just getting your ass up and moving over one bleacher. It's the delusion for me. I can't do it. Why didn't they go to the sentencing hearing? Any of these people gonna ask the parents that? Why were you all not at the sentencing hearing?
Platform to host a new fund, but his uncle Kevin Hayes has shared the most recent update on behalf of the family. On Wednesday, over on his Facebook page, he would write, "We just wanted to officially let everyone know that we've been working tirelessly behind the scenes to get everything squared away for Karmelo. We also want to make it clear that no one has been authorized to collect funds on behalf of Karmelo or our family. When the official fundraising efforts are established, we will announce them ourselves through our official channels. Thank you all for the continued love, prayers, encouragement, and unwavering support. It truly means more than words can express.
So
Just know that our spirits are high, our faith is
Not
strong,
telling us how
and the
he's
fight
spending
has
it.
only just begun." Let's talk about it more in the comments below. And for more news in comedy, culture, and sports, be sure to subscribe here.
My name is on the building. You know what I'm saying? Who
Jay
built
Witt,
the
y'all.
John Lewis?
Shout out to Jay Witt. He did this video, and I think there was a lady that came on and called this clown who does not file taxes, calling himself a minister of justice, that shook a baby up, a 2-year-old baby up, and gave the baby brain damage. And this is the person that Karmelo Anthony's parents called to help them advocate because blah blah blah.
The Social Justice Academy rebuilding Lincoln. Who building the downtown Dallas school with?
Is that fair?
You about to make me call Dominique on this phone. Dominique, hi, this is Yolanda. I don't know how I came across this YouTube video. I was just tired of watching things about Karmelo Anthony, and then I saw you on doing an interview, so I chimed in. I was just giving you a call, Dominique, because I wanted to play it over because you stated that you mentioned South Oak Cliff and you mentioned John Lewis, and you said your name is on the building.
What building? Boy, scammers got to scam, yo. Boy, that's the biggest load of crap. Jay
Now,
Witt,
real quick,
is Jay Witt still here? Boy, how did he get this lady up on his channel? This is something else. How did this transpire? What is it? SSA town? I don't know. What is going on? Who's Jay Witt at? What's the SSA town? I have no idea. They didn't show up for the sentencing hearing. Jay Witt left. How did he get this woman up on his channel? She was going off in the chat. Okay, so he invited her up. She was going off in the chat and he invited her up. So this was impromptu. Okay.
He did mention, and I don't know if you were there earlier, he mentioned that there's a high school with a building named after him.
No.
Are you familiar with this?
And Dominique didn't say that. Maybe he was talking about someone else. We don't have no high school with no building named after him in Dallas.
Okay.
Check and see. Verify. No, that have to go through the DISD, the trustees. And so with what he have going on, well, no, his past, I'm not, convicting him. He's already been convicted. But yeah, it wouldn't get by. It wouldn't pass because of those issues that he has with.
What was she going off about? She was mad about his stance on the trial. Yeah, the audacity to get mad about somebody else's opinion. What stance? No, never mind. Your fight should be what the law says in the state of Texas. Me reading the law and saying this is why he's now in prison for 35 years, I don't see how in the world you can get mad about that. No, so you're mad about the law. Because the jury came out in 3 hours. So is she going to be mad at the whole jury? How this going to go? Is she mad at the judge too? She was defending him? I know damn well you're not defending somebody that shook a baby to brain damage. I know damn well you're not defending a man that pled guilty to shaking a 2-year-old baby to the point where they had brain damage, and he's an abuser. What you defending? That's in court documents. Once again, how do you get mad at what this grown man did that led to him being charged with shaking a baby, and he pled guilty? That's in court documents. That's you should be mad at him for making that decision. Hell, you mad at? Oh, us reading the court documents? But you're not going to hold him accountable for doing that? I'm not going to affiliate and associate myself with somebody that should be on a registry because he chose to shake up a 2-year-old baby to brain damage. So you're going to go out here and take care of this baby's medical expenses? How this going to go? Is the baby even still alive? You can't make this up. It's the ignorance for me. The hell is that a support? He shook up a 2-year-old baby up. You can't explain that? That's it. Explain that part. That's it. Why are you even trying to defend him when that is what he did? Something wrong with this dude. He lacks self-control. It's like everybody want to be angry and lose self-control. How do you shake up an innocent 2-year-old baby? What is that baby doing to you? And you're a grown man to warrant taking this baby and shaking this baby violently to the point where they get brain damage. You know what level of anger you have to display to do that to a 2-year-old child? Help me if you don't kick rocks.
Children. So you sure he said that? Because if he said that,
it was in this video. It was in this video. Let me see if I can pull it. Let me find
play that back because I got to call him out on that myself now.
Well, call him
the
out
other
on
thing
it.
that I thought
Don't
was
go in
interesting.
on
I just want to make sure we kind of parse through it. As good as the things that you're saying Dominique has done for civil rights and Black people in the North Texas area, I'm not going to take any of that from him. I'm going to give him all of that. But this situation here, even though you're a really good football player, you still wouldn't be qualified to be on the Knicks team that won the championship last night. So even in that, you could be a Heisman Trophy winning player, football player. You still don't need to be on the Knicks team last night. So that would be my only pushback on that, is that I still don't think that he was qualified to be a representative of the family. Point to give you is that he kicked Jeff Metcalf out. And I really believe that that would have changed everything that we're talking about. I think everything would have changed if they just not kicked him out.
I don't think nothing would have changed, but I will say that I just think
this
that
coming from somebody. It's coming from someone who did not go to law school and does not understand the inner workings of plea deals or charges or the power of victim impact statements. God. We had a video, like Jay Witt, we went over a video yesterday, Jay Witt reacting to the lead attorney. The lead attorney, who's an actual bar licensed attorney, that gave a breakdown last year of what they can do as far as connecting with the father of the victim to ensure, first of all, you got to understand the perception in the court of law, not court of public opinion, in the court of law, because judges are human too, and so is the jury. They're looking at, okay, what level of remorse do they have for the defendant has for the victims here? How is the family handling this situation? And they removed the father of the victim from a presser and claimed that they didn't even know who he was. But you removed somebody you didn't know who he was. So the boy just flat out lied about that. This Dominic person. He lied like hell. How do you remove someone you don't even know who they are? It was other people there. If you were that afraid, why not just clear the room and just do a presser with just straight the media? And close it off to everyone else. Except 3 or 4 different media personalities, and that's it. They removed this man and then said they didn't even know who he was. So why remove him? He's a perfect stranger to you. You don't know him. It's the buffoonery in that. As if they never watched the news and never saw the father's face. He knew who that man was.
say here that I haven't already said. That, you know, maybe that's just having a master in marketing. So I'm always hard that you gotta have a spokesperson. Less is better, you know, and you turn it over. If attorney is sitting right beside you present, you let the attorney say, because the attorney know what to say, what not to say, and that's what they're gonna have to focus on. Y'all might have it going on in Atlanta where y'all got those PR people. No, I'm being serious. And then at some point, you can be the, I don't want to say the word, the big dog. You can be the big person. Like, I do a lot of background work, but my voice is still heard. I don't have to be up front on the camera always saying something. And I think
when she got up on this camera and said something, you know, it's funny how you got up on this platform and said something. You going ham in the comment section to the point where Diggs just said, look, just come on up, damn it. And she got her ass up on this platform in front of this camera and said a lot of things. The irony of it all.
That's what we have a lot of that going on here. Like, I don't know if you following everything going on. We got a lot of black attorneys talking about how they could have did it better. Then I have to check them and tell them, well, you didn't volunteer to do it. You wanted 290. So now you see it's a whole nother fight going on. And really, I'm not going to say.
You expecting an attorney to work for free? A criminal defense attorney? You expect the criminal defense attorneys to work for free because it's black skin color? What you mean? So now they went to law school just to come out and make sure that they work pro bono because, you know, you got to represent black people for free and not charge anybody. How you expect them to make a living? You understand how unrealistic that is? So if you can't find somebody to do it for free that's black, then you're going to pay white people to do it or any other race. Why not just pick an attorney because they're a good attorney? Because you don't have to. Picking an attorney is the same as like picking a really good car. Attorneys cost a lot of money. The expectation that a criminal defense attorney is supposed to work for free is absolutely ludicrous, regardless of race. Pick an attorney that can best fit your needs and get the job done, that are credible, that understand the law. They have a good track record. They're not being questioned or investigated by the Bar Association. They're in good standing. That's how you do it. And she's talking about, you didn't volunteer. They don't have to. That's their job. They're doing their job. How dare you go to McDonald's and say, I don't see you volunteering to cook my food for free. No, they're there to get paid. They on the clock. Why would you expect someone to work for free? So silly as shit.
If you had a black attorney, would have made it better, but I would have had a diverse team. There's no way I would have had an all white. I don't care if you did have some black jury. So we just have to do better.
Real quick, I'm just going to read this real quick. And,
okay.
I'm going to read it. I'm going to read this.
Let me do what I'm going to do.
Let me make it big, and then I'm going to play it. I'm going to read it first, and then I'm going to play it. At 13 minutes and 58 seconds, it says, it's 1,600 kids. South Cliff High School is the highest academically rated comprehensive high school in Dallas ISD. Right now, since new building, 5 championship appearances. My name is on the building. You know what I'm saying? Who built the John Lewis Social Justice Academy rebuild in Lincoln? He says his name's on the building.
Wait a minute. Play that clip.
I'm about to play it right now. I'm about to play it right now.
Yeah, I need to make sure I get a screenshot of that.
Okay, let me screenshot it right now. While I'm here, I'm gonna screenshot it right now. When you email me, I'm gonna send you that. And then there you go. Got it. Okay, now let's play this and make sure green hearts in the chat when y'all can hear.
100 kids. It's 1,600 kids. South Cliff High School is the highest academically rated comprehensive high school in Dallas ISD right now.
Since the new building.
5 championship appearances. My name is on the building. You know what I'm saying?
He said it flat out. What's she missing? So she didn't even watch it. You go and ham in on the comment section the way you're not even listening. My name is on the building. How she missed this?
You know what I'm saying? Who built?
My name is on the building. That's what he said.
My name is on the building.
Pause. Y'all see that? My name is on the building. And what's so crazy is he was very clear with that. It's not like he's slurring his speech and you're getting it confused with something else. So what you mean? She wasn't even listening for him to have to go back and play this again. She was too busy going off in the comments. If listening is not your best, skill, child, I think you pay attention long enough, you know what's going on in your chat. It's certain people just you can't even respond to because you already see where they're trying to go with it. Some people just like to provoke. Some people are going to be antagonistic. They're going to just say the opposite of whatever you say and disagree with you. You got trolls, you got bots, you got brainless simps and morons and aliens and all kinds of all kinds of people. Some people that want you to go to their alternate reality to understand what they saying and agree with them, as opposed to them understanding I don't have to agree with you and I owe you nothing. No, you ain't got that. People just can't express how they feel once, and we got it. We read it. I don't agree. The end. He could have got up and walked away. Period. He used a knife and plunged it in somebody's chest. You know how much force you have to apply to do that?
You know what I'm saying? Who built the John Lewis Social Justice Academy, rebuilding Lincoln? Who building the downtown Dallas school with?
Is that fair?
You about to make me call Dominique on this phone. Now, I mean, I'm not calling you out a lie, but I'm just saying I'm glad that I did chime in because I'm gonna tell Dominique and I'm gonna make sure I get that clip. Dominique, I'm watching the interview and you're up here talking about your name is on the building. No, John Lewis was built. Maxie Johnson is the trustee, got us that John Lewis school that's beautifully built. Yeah, so I have a real problem with that. I have a real problem with that. And I'm going to respectfully call Dominique. And that's why you have to be careful when you're doing interviews. You don't know who watching, who is what. And I'm going to ask him, where is your name at on the building? And I don't know if Dominique think people not going to fact check that, but I'm serious. I have a real problem with that. Hold on.
I'm all about
it. This is something else. Because he wasn't even listening when he first said it. So it's like, lady, you just not realizing he said that? Like he didn't lie about a million other things? Yeah, okay. You gonna ask him why he's not filing taxes? Because that 501c3 has not had a tax filing that we can look up and see since 2020. Are you gonna ask him to file the last 5 years of taxes? Can you ask him that while you on the phone with him?
I'm a very, very, if you ask anybody about me there, I'm very honest. I'm fair. I respect people's opinion. But then when you're wrong, and you have to be called out on it.
I just want to make sure. Go ahead.
Dominique, hi, this is Yolanda. I don't know how I came across this YouTube video. I was just tired of watching things about Karmelo Anthony. And then I saw you on doing an interview, so I chimed in.
Hold on. What'd she say?
Karmelo Anthony. I was just tired of watching things about Karmelo.
So stop watching. Hard stop right there. See, and this is where people getting confused where they think they can just come up here and say, you need to stop talking about it. Who the hell are you talking to? You don't pay my bills. You don't run shit here. If you're tired of listening to it, go watch anything else. You know how much stuff you could be watching on YouTube right now? You could be watching ASMR. People watch, cook dishes. People doing videos about how they can steam clean carpet pieces. Boy, you can watch some ballet, watch a movie, watch some comedy, watch some music clips, people singing, playing piano or something. You got a plethora of options on YouTube. And you can sit here. I'm sick and tired of people talking about Karmelo Anthony while I'm pulling up videos of people talking about Karmelo Anthony. That's good. People forget that the First Amendment applies to everybody. You sit and listen to it, but you keep watching it. Go figure.
Anthony, and then I saw you on doing an interview, so I chimed in. I was just giving you a call, Dominique, because I wanted to play it over because you stated that you mentioned South Oak Cliff and you mentioned John Lewis, and you said your name is on the building. And so I'm trying to see, did you misquote or what? Because I don't recall your name being on those buildings. So I'm just trying to get clarification, Dominique, because I don't know. I think that was a big, I don't want to call it a lie, but I think that was
You don't want to call it a lie? A lie's a lie. I'm sorry. Has the definition of lie changed? Oh, no. See, here's where accountability comes in. If you're going to go there, go all the way there. You're lying like hell. Where your name at on the building? Send me a photo. What you mean? You say your name is on the building. You said those words flat out, very calmly. And then you talk about, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know you lying like hell, but I want you to show me proof of where your name is on that building. Because why are you saying that? And when you going to file your taxes? The fact that he's not filing taxes to the IRS in accordance with federal law, if you're willing to cheat the IRS, you're willing to lie like hell to the general public. Let the church say amen.
Wrong, because your name is not on the building. And then I'm also watching JWHIT. I think that would be a good live podcast that you should chime in and you can answer his questions because he was listening to another podcast. So if you don't mind, let me know if it's a problem. I'm going to make sure you get his number, get his information so you can be on his podcast. And you know what? He have a lot of subscribers.
Wait, was she talking to him or she's leaving a voicemail message? What was she talking to him? Yo, this is crazy. Was she on the phone with him? You're not gonna sit here and say all of that uninterrupted. Was he on speakerphone? How do we know she was like talking to him on the phone? She was leaving him a voicemail message. Do you know how long you have to leave a voicemail message? Who in the world, what cell phone carrier allows you to leave a 5-minute voicemail message? She's still going on and on. Y'all, I want y'all to see how long she starts talking. Y'all. We're gonna look at the time of when she starts talking on this phone.
Fair, I respect people's opinion, but then when you're wrong, and you have to be called out on it.
I just want to make sure. Go ahead.
Dominique, hi, this is
Dominique, hi. What's the timestamp? 6 minutes, 34 seconds. I want y'all to listen on how long this goes, because I don't know any cell phone carrier that will let you leave this long ass voicemail message like this. And if she were talking to him on the phone, wouldn't we hear him saying something in the background? Is he on speakerphone or what?
Yolanda. I don't know how I came across this YouTube video. I was just tired of watching things about Karmelo.
Yeah, I'm tired of watching things about Karmelo Anthony, but I don't know how I came across this video, but I'm here. Girl, you contradicting yourself all over the place.
Anthony, and then I saw you on doing an interview, so I chimed in. I was just giving you a call, Dominique, because I wanted to play it over because you stated that you mentioned South Oak Cliff and you mentioned John Lewis, and you said your name is on the building. And so I'm trying to see, did you misquote or what? Because I don't recall your name being on those buildings.
Y'all still talking.
I'm just trying to get clarification, Dominique, because I don't know. I think that was a big, I don't want to call it a lie, but I think that was wrong, because your name is not on the building. And then I'm also watching JWHIT. I think that would be a good live podcast.
No, we had 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Almost a whole minute. Who's able to leave a voicemail message like this? Just going on. She is going on. Did Deacon edit this? Is this the raw clip or it was edited or something? Was there a time skip or something like that? Oh, this is priceless. I would have deleted and just called back. Ain't no way in the hell I'm listening to this voicemail message.
That you should chime in and you can answer his questions, because he was listening to another podcast. So if you don't mind, let me know if it's a problem. I'm going to make sure you get his number, get his information so you can be on his podcast. And you know what? He have a lot of subscribers, just the way you like it.
What?
So give me a call, because I want to know what.
Don't let that baby shaker up down your platform, Jay Witt. Don't you do that. He's a convicted felon. He's shaking up babies. We don't platform that. Don't platform evil. Hell no, he wouldn't be able to come over here. He wouldn't get past me going off. I would just go off. That's it. He wouldn't. You only come up here for me to cuss you out. This is not a dialogue. I'm going off. And then I'm going to drop your hands when I'm done. Are you kidding? Don't let him over there.
Name, boy, your name is low.
Can't tell him what to do. I'm just saying, good God, I would not platform that clown.
Located on those schools. Thank you.
We don't know if she was talking to him on the phone. We don't know. She could have just hit a button on the phone and just started talking. I mean, this is something else. Y'all, 7 minute, 59 second mark. From 6 minute, 34 seconds to 7 minute, 59 seconds. Longest voicemail message ever. Hey, little boy, you lie like hell in a video, and I need you to clarify your name on the building. Just send me evidence. Call me back when you get this. Bye. In reality, no one leaves an almost 2 minute voicemail message.
Well, there we go.
If I don't do it, then I mean, that's just how I am.
No, let me tell
you, very,
you.
very blunt. But if I don't do it now, then it'll linger on. But he'll call me back, and then I'm gonna text him and tell him, Dominique, you over here telling people your name on these schools? Then he'll hurry up and call me like, Dominique. He gonna try to say no. I'm saying yes, Dominique. I need that clip so I can play it back to him, and I'm getting ready to send it to the trustee to let him know. But I'm gonna try to work. Now I can't say it's gonna be an easy job.
I know you like that episode. This is actually a clip from a larger live stream. The link is down in the description.
Oh, Deacon. Oh man. Oh, this was funny. Yeah, helpful with talking to nobody. Now, don't be telling him he can come over here. He got a lot of subscribers, just like you like it. Maybe she was setting that up to try to get this clown more appearances on people's YouTube channels. There's got to be a reason why she going ham in the comment section talking about, I'm tired of people talking about Karmelo Anthony. But yeah, I was listening to this video where people talking about Karmelo Anthony. And he got a lot of subscribers, just like you like it. Who? Don't come over here advertising. The devil is a liar. He can't come over here. That sounds like a setup, Deacon. I'm just going to be honest. That sounds like a setup to me. It sounds like she out here scouting channels and stuff, trying to get this dude to come on people's podcasts. No. Ma'am. No. Tell him to hang up the phone. We're not doing this. He can't come over here. He was convicted of shaking up a 2-year-old baby. Do you understand? I would eat to his ass. He cannot come over here on my platform. Sound like she was trying to. Sound like she trying to get him set up to be able to do podcast appearances. Where we do that at? Do not tell that fool that he can come over here to my channel. I don't care. Them views are not worth it. It's not worth it. It's a matter of integrity for me. I can't do it. No, he got to stay his ass over there. These podcast channels he going on, let them platform him. But no, I don't agree with nothing he said or done. He shaking up babies. We can't do this. Nope. I don't. Why would she even get? She did this on purpose. Can y'all imagine that? Like, we've seen a lot of people in the chat, right? A lot of people in the chat. But you're not gonna get up on my platform and then say, I'm tired of people, I'm just sick and tired of people talking about Karmelo Anthony. You don't have to be here. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. You sick and tired of people talking about Karmelo Anthony, but you hop up on a platform where I'm talking about Karmelo Anthony. Girl, you might want to see your way out. What you're not going to do is run this up in him. Have a good day. That's it. With the moment I heard that, I was like, oh, hell no. Why is she up there then? I know how to do things in the background and nobody know who I am. And yet you get your behind in front of a camera. On a podcast where he got a lot of subscribers, just like you like it. Girl, you out here trolling. That's a whole troll. She trolled everybody in real time. Make this up. All right, y'all. This woman too damn old to be trolling everybody. What you mean? Tell nigga be careful. We not doing this. Let's get the supers in. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for the $4.99 super. Do they realize if they actually did get new trial, he could end in more time? New jury could sentence him to the max of 99 years. He got off for 35. And what they don't realize is that, it's going to be a new trial with the same evidence and everything and the same witnesses and all of that. And whatever legal errors were made, then they understand that this trial is to ensure that the trial occurs without the errors. So you get the same people come back, testify again, the same video evidence is going to be shown. It's just like that. But if I had to just kind of give my insight on that, that appeal is not going to be granted. They're gonna deny it and uphold the ruling of the lower court. Because they have to express what the legal errors were. People think an appeal is an opportunity for you to just start over. Let's start over again. Let's get everybody coming here and say something different. Nope. That's not how that works. And this is what happens when you don't read on the appellate process or jury selection process. When you don't know how things work in the court of law, you're going to go in there with this mindset or mentality or this perception that this should go this way. You'd be disappointed. Why not just read read the court rules, federal rules of criminal procedure. Read the court rules. That's what his parents need to do. Read court rules. Understand the jury selection process. Understand the appellate process in the state of Texas. You have state laws that kind of dictate how the process could, be a little variation between states. The state law in Texas might be different from state laws in Alabama. Federal rules of criminal procedure is kind of like the foundation as to how certain things should just occur in a criminal proceeding. But you also have state law that can add to that. And you need to be familiar with that. So you got court rules, you got laws, you got case law and precedents. If you're not familiar with how this is going to go in a court of law, you can't go in there with a preconceived notion you didn't go to law school. You need to understand what you're doing and what you're dealing with. So you're not going in thinking it should go this way, and if it doesn't, then I'm just gonna holler it's all racist. No, it's all legal. Can't make this up. So I think they think that an appeal is going to somehow just wipe the slate clean. They can just start over, reset time, and no, it's gonna be what happened with the trial, with the evidence, minus the legal errors that you're claiming has occurred. And that's if the appellate court grants the actual appeal. They could push it back down to the lower court, or they could say, well, this part we'll deny, but this part we'll grant. So if you have a hearing, it'll be just for this specific issue. But if you don't know how the appellate process works, you're going to think you're just going to get a whole new trial and all this new evidence comes in and you'll be able to get whole new people come in and testify. No. Nope. Be sadly disappointed. Sadly disappointed. And that's something that his parents need to really read about, take time to learn. They're up here too busy fundraising. You need to be reading about what's going to happen with the appellate process to even see if it's worth the money. He has the right to an appeal, but if he has to get a public defender, that's what's going to have to happen. As opposed to them saying, okay, now we need to raise money for the appellate fund. Like you raised over $600,000 talking about. But yeah, so he could have gotten life without possibility of parole. I personally think that's what should have happened because that's what the law allows. But I don't think they're thinking rationally about how many accommodations he got with this. The bond being lowered, 35 years as opposed to life, or even 50 years to life. They're not thinking about that. So if they get this appellate process going through, then they're just going to set themselves up for more disappointment and then keep going out and claiming it's all racist. It's all racist. All because they didn't read court rules. It's so crazy. But thank you so much, honey, Jacqueline, for the $4.99. And I agree. I mean, he should have gotten more. He got off with 35. CJ sit the $9.99 super. Thank you so much. Thank you for not making it about race and speaking about the facts of the case. Our youth was watching. Some know it was wrong. Some think it was justified. That's the scary part. Yeah, we go on the law. And I played the video for a reason, again, because we have to be logical and use good judgment too. And that's what they do in the court of law. You got to still, there's a level of just logic and good reasoning. You know, so it's a combination of the finding of fact, law, evidence, and logic, good reasoning, what the reasonable viewer and listener and reader will understand. Good night, Johnny Walker. Thank you so much for tuning in, honey. I saw Mind Chaos Brew here. And Cellulite, are you still here? Shout out to you all. The fantastic content creators coming through. Thank you for the support. If you're listening, I appreciate you. It's a blessing. It really is. Thank you so much. But you gotta combine the finding of fact, law, evidence with the logic and good judgment and wisdom. Because all those things play a role in determining what the jury understands with the evidence and how they apply the law and what they come out determining what will be adequate for, some level of conviction and ruling. Does that make sense? We looking at this video evidence, and I know what a fight looks like amongst teenage boys, and people are saying, "Oh, this is a fight." How? Where's the fight? When were they fighting? But see, if people watch a fight occur with some teenage boys in a bleachers, you see a totally different scenario. But that would be the more realistic thing to do, to be able to kind of gauge what to expect logically when you're talking about some big ass teenage boys fighting. What are some of the things you kind of expect to see here? Otherwise, you're being too narrow-minded and you think this is a fight. no, this is not a fight. But yet, here's the logic in this. Why didn't he just get up and go sit over here? Because that's one of the questions you got to ask yourself. Could this have been avoided? Yes, if he would have got up and walked away. That was not his tent. No one called him over there. No one has proven that either. And just invoking dumb things into this situation, it doesn't change the facts of what we're seeing with our own eyes with this video. Or the witness testimony. Or what he admitted to. And if you know what a fight looks like, you're not going to sit here and say, yeah, no, this is a fight. This is a whole fight. I'm sorry. This is not self-defense. Everybody sitting down. The only time you see somebody get up is when they shove each other. And somehow that wanted for him to just put a knife in this boy's chest. No, it didn't. No fighting here. No one's fighting. I don't see any fights. Nobody swinging arms and all this stuff. Things you expect to see in a fight, child. So, yeah, that's all we got for this one. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you all. This is my second video on Karmelo Anthony, but we here. He's in prison for 35 years. They are trying to get an appeal going, but how that goes is how it goes. But I think, if they don't understand what they're dealing with, then they're going to be disappointed again. And, they need to get some understanding on the appellate process and how court works. So y'all be good. We'll be back at it tomorrow. If you can join me for the watch party of Dana Lash, go in on Candice, do so. If not, I will see you all in the next one. Thank y'all so much. Hit the like button on the way out and hype the video up. And until then, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.